amid the bustling streets full of people passing by. This is South Korea, where the city had long been developed. Cars filled the roads and towering skyscrapers loomed above. In Gangnam in 2006, there was a financial office building. The department head was startled. The fund had been drained. How much? He asked. His subordinate reported about 20,000 shares. The department head pushed up his glasses and speculated. Someone had noticed and snatched them up. Hesitantly, the employee asked, "What should we do?" He put his hands on his hips and shouted, "What else can we do? There will be an announcement soon. The best now is to divide it. I don't know who they are, but they are truly the lucky ones. We don't know when another lucky person like him will appear. Be careful. If we fail now, we're done for." The department head thought tensely. It seems they already know all we have planned. Like a ghost. Who exactly is that guy? In another residential area, in a very ordinary room, a teenager was working on a computer. Thiessen smiled with satisfaction. All right. He happily looked at the stock codes. 46 million in 3 days. The numbers kept soaring. Thiessen was both tense and joyful. This was an amount he had never had in his life. But it was still not enough. He was not yet satisfied. He had not truly begun. He looked at the red and green stock codes thoughtfully. He immediately made a decision. Maybe push a little further. I am still lacking. Here, in a small room in the countryside, where the summer heat had not yet subsided, I, Thiessen, in this old and dilapidated room, had been given a new life and looked toward a new future, and soon I would write a legend with my own hands. Before he returned, in 2020 at the Han River, Thiessen was in despair. His company had gone bankrupt. He staggered and leaned against the bridge railing. I was about to become a full-time employee. Looking down at the rushing water, Thiessen suddenly thought, maybe I should jump. But just as he was merely enjoying the wind, someone suddenly shouted, "Wait!" That person urged him, "Please come down." It turned out that there was also another person beside him wanting to end his life. "Don't come closer, I'll jump." The two policemen below were panicking. "I don't care. Come down now. There are still many days ahead. Why would you think of doing such a thing?" The other man trembled, clutching the bridge. I, tears and snot flowing, really, unable to hold back, burst into loud crying. "I'm done for." In the end, that man was pulled down. "Please save me." The two policemen were helpless, and stood up first. This scene did not leave much impression on Thiessen. He thought, every day someone disappears into the Han River. Even if I jump, this life will still be the same. Maybe I should go back to my hometown tomorrow. Thiessen stood at the red light next to a boy. The child was busy playing a game on his phone. Thiessen felt a little down. Looks fun. I envy that kid. The green light had just gone off. Thiessen speechlessly watched the child cross the road, ignoring the signal completely. Kids these days are something else. Just then, he noticed something was wrong. A car was speeding toward the boy. "Hey!" Thiessen could hardly react. That car. He watched in horror as it rushed forward, running. "It's too fast." Thiessen turned to look at the carefree child again, completely unaware of the oncoming car, eyes still glued to the phone, earphones still on. Instinctively, he dashed forward. "No!" In a reflexive cry, "Danger!" Finally, a loud shout burst out. "It's dangerous, kid!" Following his instincts, Thiessen ran ahead, getting out of the way. The white car sped forward regardless. The boy turned around in surprise, only to see Thiessen stumbling as he rushed over, pushing the boy hard out of the car's path. In the moment of crisis, the car headlights blinded Thiessen. He was thrown up by the terrible impact. In his final moment, Thiessen only had one curse. "Damn. So this is how I must die," he thought. "I have never lived a decent day. But if I die from a traffic accident, then my parents will receive the insurance money, right?" At that moment Thiessen heard a shout. "You fool!" He sprang awake. "What is happening? Why am I floating like this? Who are you? Why am I floating like this?" Thiessen suddenly realized something. "Could it be you?" he asked in panic. "Are you the god of death?" The man answered kindly, "I am your ancestor." Thiessen stared blankly and went pale. "Ancestor? What is that?" The ancestor angrily bristled his beard and scolded. I raised you to be a descendant of heaven, and you wag your tail like a neighbor dog. Even those bastards look down on us. Tison paled and covered his ears. What are you saying? His heart filled with fear as well. Startled, was it necessary to shout so loudly? The man returned to a gentle appearance. Listen carefully. I will grant you a favor. If you can be reborn, then do not pretend to be a gentleman. Never forgive your enemies. Smash them to the pulp so they cannot lift their heads again. He still did not understand what the man was saying. The ancestor paid no attention and growled, If you cannot do it, I will kill you again, making you die and come back to life for 5,000 years. In the blink of an eye, Tison's body fell again. Wait, what is he doing? He felt his soul falling freely, once more preparing to land at the site of the car accident. Tison screamed in horror. Didn't you say you would save me? But in the end he still fell and hit the ground face first. Until he woke up. Beside his ear was the old alarm clock. Tison fumbled to turn it off, finally pressing the clock button. He weakly groaned as he woke, then suddenly opened his eyes in astonishment. Wait a minute. Tison, in his teenage version, was confused. Where is this? He sat up and looked. Tison recalled that on a day in August 2020, he had been hit by a car and his head had been crushed. He was 32 years old at that time. He looked at the calendar again, but now Tison stared in shock at the mirror. He had become young again. The dull life of a man who had suffered from loneliness in his youth. He still stared wide-eyed in disbelief. God, how could this be? Tison pinched his face and remembered the time when he was young. He looked down at himself. It was the photo taken during the Mid-Autumn Festival in 2006, back when his arms and legs were still as firm as now. Tison could not help but feel amazed. Wonderful. How old am I now? 1, 2, he murmured to himself, exactly the same as in his memories. Tison suddenly stood up. God, I'm 18. He remembered, that unforgettable age of 18 when nothing in life seemed frightening. Joy surged uncontrollably within him, so that old man, he wasn't lying. He reminisced with delight the memories of 32 years of life, mingled with joy and sorrow, rose up inside me again, even the scenes of failure at the age of 32. Tison was astonished to realize everything was so vivid. This couldn't be a dream. Suddenly he thought of something. Wait, that spotless white school uniform? I have to go to school. Tison shuddered as he recalled those high school years. Those were the days of playfulness, truly embarrassing. The dreamy naps in class, his poor grades. As soon as he thought of it, he froze. Cold sweat ran down his back. Wait, I remember everything. Damn it. This isn't a dream, is it? Tison tested a memory. The law exam, I still remember it. Could I take it again? Then he was stunned again. Wait, I used to work in stocks. With the goal of being hired by a securities firm, I studied and obtained advisory certificates in 3 financial types: bonds, treasury, and even derivatives. I not only learned about KOSPI, the Korean Stock Market Index, KOSDAQ, the Korean Electronic Stock Market, foreign stocks and stock indices. I also researched securities, derivatives, and financial leverage. I always tried my best. But life is not a dream. That was not enough. Tison paused. Why? He recalled the ancestor's words. I will give you a gift. Tison looked up puzzled. What gift? No sooner had he asked than something began to change. He hastily covered his eyes against the dazzling light, frowning with discomfort, unable to open his eyes. Then someone said, Sit down, cross your legs. Tison slowly opened his eyes. In front of him was a black crow. It was an old man sitting in meditation. I will teach you the 5 pearls Taiji fist. Tison broke into a cold sweat. What? He looked around in horror. Who is he? Where is this? The man introduced himself. Who am I? I am the head of Shinsean Medical Institute, Ryangshin. A little worried. Have you forgotten? But fortunately Tison recognized. What? Head of Shinsean Medical Institute? He urged. Hurry up. This is strict transboundary cultivation. If we are exposed, you will get into trouble. He could not believe it. He did not understand any of it. Shinsean Medical Institute. Boundary violating cultivation. then the divine heavenly dragon, all strange to him. Ryngshin assessed, your muscles are good. How did that happen? Tison was startled. My muscles are good. He sneered, do not show off. You might break a bone. Tison recoiled, damn, was it necessary to expose me like that? Ryngshin nagged, and stopped eating instant noodles all the time. It harms the blood. Tison was helpless. Do the poor have any other choice in life? He urged again, close your eyes quickly, I will begin. Tison fell silent, not daring to accept. Instead, he looked around cautiously, ignoring whatever boundary violation meant. But this place looked far too dangerous. Ryngshin grew irritated and shouted, you there, do you know what the 3 core elements are? Speed, endurance, and the key. Tison had no choice, but to sit down. Sounds convincing enough, he thought. Then heard the Tison replied, in martial arts movies and novels. Right. Ryngshin warned, careless training will damage your bones. Tison gave an awkward smile. Careless training, he secretly grumbled. This guy sounds like a quack doctor. The old man lost patience and commanded, let's begin. In an instant Ryngshin appeared behind him. Tison broke out in cold sweat. He could feel the divine dragon's power right behind his back. The old man placed his hand on Tison's back and calmly explained, I will pass this on to you. Once you comprehend the minor heavenly cycle and find the truth for yourself. Tison listened in confusion. How do I do that? Ryngshin cut him off firmly. That's all I can tell you. Now we begin. At once he felt a burning current of energy flow into his body, making him feel intense pain. The energy from the old man pierced into him like tree roots. He clenched his teeth to endure. What is this? Why can I hear waves behind me? The more Ryngshin pushed his power, the more painful it became. The old man said resolutely, hold it in. The more pain you endure, the stronger you will become. Veins bulged as Tison struggled. This old man, hold it in. How? I'm about to die here. His eyes rolled back. Please stop. But Ryngshin kept channeling energy, forcing Tison to scream out in an explosive release. His cry startled the birds, and his entire body. In his delirium, Tison suddenly thought, is this the writhing feeling people always talk about? He panted, sweat pouring non-stop. The harmful humors had been expelled from his body. The old man's Buddha blood made his nerves feel as if they were being burned. He thought he was dead. His blood vessels swelled as if they wanted to ignite him. Yet the old man still did not stop. He said when tears and snot welled up from the pain, the power would multiply along with that pain. And at that moment Ryngshin stopped. Enough. I will transmit to you the 5 pearls Taiji Fist, he explained. The 5 pearls Taiji Fist are martial moves that only a very few can perform. After returning to the real world, Tison gasped. He stared in horror. He had not been lied to. He was certain he had comprehended the 5 pearls Taiji Fist. Earlier Ryngshin had said, I may look like this, but in truth I am the most outstanding disciple of the martial school. I even had a martial master who once fought for 4 days and 3 nights with the leader of the Huashan sect, took his life and won a prize in the 3233rd contest of the Jade Emperor. Tison was speechless. Nobody asked. Nevertheless, he thought it sounded cool. But who could verify it, anyway? The effect of the Buddha's teaching was truly amazing. He smiled a little in surprise at how much he was sweating. Tison looked at the clock again. Clearly he had seen the sun rise and set many times, but time here still did not change. He was astonished. So, this works too. Then he happened to notice the computer. His computer was a real relic. Celeron 500, 6 GB RAM, 4 MB graphics, 10 GB hard drive. Upon closer inspection, with some pirated software, it looked like a museum piece. Suddenly Tison paused, sniffing. He could no longer resist wanting to change clothes. Everything smelled awful. Better clean up first. Just then his mother's voice rang out. Tison came downstairs for breakfast. The familiar voice made him dazed. Tison, come downstairs for breakfast. You have to eat. Tison's eyes welled up. Though he had heard these words all his life, he still felt warmth. His mother was the only one who stayed by him whether he failed exams or lost a job. His eyes red. Mother. Tison still remembered. Every day she would text him to eat properly. Always gentle. Don't eat instant noodles and fast food all the time. You must eat well, my son. He hurriedly replied, yes, mother, I'll take a shower first. His mother urged, hurry. The soup was getting cold. Tison quickly removed his clothes. Yes, but when he looked in the mirror, he was surprised. He couldn't believe it. Am I really this tall now? Had his body been purified? Tison turned on the shower, feeling relief. He joyfully rubbed his face. His skin was smoother too. The sky outside was a deep blue. Tison stepped out of the bathroom, drying his hair, sighing in comfort, so relaxing. His expression softened as he looked around. His gaze fell on the yard, the garden where his mother always worked so hard. His father's old plow. The house passed down through 10 generations. That's why I have to live in the countryside. Suddenly someone asked, what's wrong, son? Tison hesitated and turned around. Yes, I just thought today the weather is so nice. His mother smiled gently, ate quickly. It's getting cold. Tison couldn't hold back his tears. Every day his mother worked from morning in the orchard. She looked so worn out, yet she was always the most beautiful mother in his middle school parent group. He sobbed as he replied, yes. In the end, he couldn't resist hugging her mother. Tison's mother smiled awkwardly. What's wrong with you? You're grown up already and still. He cried while praising her. Mother, you are the most beautiful in the world. You're like a fairy. She was startled. Why all of a sudden? Why are you crying? Tison remembered clearly. She graduated from Hongdae University of Fine Arts. Only the most outstanding painters in Korea could attend. And she had said before marriage she had never even touched a blade of grass. Yet now, she laughed and patted her son's back. It seems in this world, it's not just father and son who are blind. He kept reminding her, even though she was still strong, don't overexert yourself. The more he looked at her, the less she seemed like a rural woman. She said awkwardly, it's okay, there have to be farmers so everyone has food to eat. Tison kept praising, how could father be so lucky? Did mother sell water in a past life? She laughed, you little rascal. Probably, he thought. Mother must have been the princess who betrayed the nation. He felt immense happiness. It had been a long time since he saw his mother smile. From now on, I will let my mother walk on a path full of flowers. She noticed him hugging her for a long time. My child, if you love me so much, why don't you eat more? Tison quickly pulled away. I'm sorry, mother. I hugged you without asking father. She teased him humorously. You're right. Your father will be very jealous. Then he and his mother sat down to eat in a dashing room, with the gentle breeze flowing. Tison exclaimed excitedly, yes, mother, please eat. His heart full of joy, truly a precious meal. If I hadn't been reborn, I would never feel this again. He ate a bite and cried, my armpits hurt, mother, both spicy and fresh. Those drunk could eat it easily. Why didn't you open a restaurant instead of farming? If you opened a bean soup restaurant, it would sell like fresh shrimp. She looked puzzled. Drunk people. Today you even know how to get drunk. Did you secretly drink wine? Tison quickly defended. I'm grown up. How could I not know? She tapped his head. You joke just like your father. Tison reminisced. Back in college, he had been a notorious drinker. But now, young again, he was just a youth who had never tasted alcohol. Yet, he looked at the animals running around the house. The furniture was worn and faded with time. Tison wondered why his family was so poor. He was stunned. Now he finally realized it cannot go on like this. His mother looked bewildered as she saw him washing the dishes. My son, what's wrong with you today? I heard that if someone suddenly changes their personality, it means they are about to die. Leave it, let me do it. Normally you never touch this kind of work. Tison laughed lightly. It's fine, mother. When I was in the army, I used to wash dishes too. She thought she misheard. In the army, he quickly corrected himself. I was just joking. His mother looked doubtful. You and your father are teaming up to tease me, aren't you? Tison hurriedly denied. No, it's not that. He thought back. I used to be such a bad son, never even washed dishes before. Tisun softly called. "Mother?" She patiently replied. "What is it now?" He smiled, looking back at her. "I will make you happy." She thought he was teasing again. "Your father says that every day." Time passed quietly through the morning. Tisun looked at his mother sleeping soundly. Since her health wasn't strong, she always rested at noon. While she slept, he thought, why not take this chance to practice some of the things I learned in the army? He took a towel and carefully wiped the floor. Tisun opened the old curtains wide. "Let's clean out this musty smell." He pulled out the laundry, washed clothes and bedding, and hung them under the bright sun. Tisun remembered, "My father went to the bank to borrow money." He leaned out the window to clean it, then took out the trash and chased away a stray cat. Only after a long while did he breathe a sigh of relief. Sitting on the porch, Tisun thought, "My father grows organic apples, without fertilizers or pesticides." Organic produce isn't very common in Korea, because very few people were willing to spend money on expensive organic fruits. Moreover, their taste was like nuts. As soon as he bit into one, he spat it out. "What on earth is this? This pile of apples is no good at all." Tisun's mood sank, but his father's debt was still enormous. His father had an orchard and 2 rice fields left by his grandmother 3 years ago, and in just a few more months, all of it would be gone to pay off the debt. That was when my family began to fall apart, and my father's siblings never came to visit again. Poor, miserable father of mine. First, I must think of a way to save the orchard and the rice fields. The problem is money. It's all about money. He suddenly came to a realization. That's right. I still remember the stock charts from the past. Although I only saw them once or twice, I remember them very clearly. How could that be? Have I become a genius? Thinking so, Tisun immediately denied it. Impossible. And besides, what does it even mean for me to return to the past like this? Going back in time to 26 sounds completely insane. He sighed in frustration. In this country, what's the point of owning government stocks anyway? Capital shares are hitting rock bottom. Who would lend money to a high school student? Even working part-time wouldn't earn much. In this situation, I can't possibly earn enough capital for my parents. Tisun muttered in annoyance. Genius my ass. Is there anything more promising than this? He turned his attention to the old computer stocks. Tisun understood clearly. That was something he could do right now, yet he sighed. But this PC is such a piece of junk. This scrap heap can only be used for typing text. But just as he thought that, his eyes caught something. Wait! Tisun's face lit up with joy. Yes, this is it. An idea began to form. The web novel site Panmugo. He couldn't help but let out a sly laugh. His eyes gleamed sharply. Sorry, writer Jang Hee-yi. Tisun recalled that Magical Warrior and Thunder Sword were the 2 greatest masterpieces of South Korea at that time. He opened the text editor and prepared to type. Tisun thought carefully. The first volume was published in 1927. The author was Jang Hee-yi, and by 2020 the series had released 59 volumes, and the number was still growing. He exclaimed, "Unbelievable! I remember every detail so clearly." Then his fingers moved swiftly across the keyboard. Tisun muttered, with the same title, Magical Warrior. Whoever uploads it first owns it. The main character's name is Red, and the heroine's name is Yeren. After her father passed away, her family collapsed. To help her twin sister continue attending school, Red, the protagonist, accidentally connects to an artificial game. He typed while praising, "What an amazing story." Tisun's hands moved non-stop. Suddenly, every detail of the novel shone vividly in his mind, clear down to each word. He smiled with self-satisfaction. I take back what I said earlier. I really am a genius. How interesting. Tisun was filled with determination. It would definitely be rebuilt by his own hands. It was already a masterpiece, so there was no need for any changes. His fingers danced across the keyboard. Thousands of words flowed out just like that. Writing so smoothly like this, perhaps there really was literary blood flowing in his veins. When everything was done, he smiled faintly, satisfied and calculating. First, he would just upload it under the free section. This novel would explode in popularity. Tison looked at the newly uploaded story and nodded to himself. It truly was a masterpiece after all. His ID would be Gold River. Once everything was set, Tison decided to post it. Seeing the numbers rise on the ranking board, he felt a surge of joy. I'm proud of myself. Writing isn't that hard after all, he thought. Tison muttered to himself, indeed, I have stolen a novel from the future. Suddenly, he remembered a famous line from the main character in the novel, and burst into laughter shouting, money has no eyes, whoever comes first owns it. His mother, just waking up, covered her ears sleepily and mumbled, what on earth did that kid eat wrong this time? In a high-rise building in the city, a young man was eating noodles while browsing the web. What novel is this? He wondered. After reading for a while, he grew increasingly excited. The name of the main character. He thought the guy was just some loser, but it turned out he actually had some real talent. This novel is amazing, the best one I've ever read, he muttered to himself. The more he read, the harder it was to stop. He kept leaving comments, saying things like, this guy read, how could those 3 useless items be more important than women? I just binge read 10 chapters straight. The ID is Gold River. If you publish this as a book, I'll buy it immediately. For now, I'll pre-order and recommend it to everyone. Then he left another comment. It was as if one person's excitement had spread to many others. Even though it was a free web series, it reached the top of the rankings with only 10 chapters. Inside a publishing studio, someone asked, Assistant Lee, have you read this one yet? He quickly replied, yes, even though it hasn't officially been released, they're still going to print 500 copies. If the cover design turns out well, there'll definitely be a second print run. The chief editor hesitated. It's only 10 chapters so far, isn't it too early to print? Assistant Lee explained, you see, this novel is really funny and the story's pacing is excellent. The others agreed, it's a very marketable novel. Maybe the author is actually a well-known writer who's using a pen name to post it online. The chief editor still seemed unconvinced. I know it's funny, but don't you think fantasy novels usually attract more readers than game-themed ones? The assistants replied, readers' tastes have changed. Recently the game genre is really trending, and Magic Warrior, that title alone. Hearing that, the editor fell silent in thought. Then a young woman spoke up. I'll personally recommend this novel. I read it yesterday, and the main character is truly captivating. The chief editor finally said, we must contact the author, and then asked, under what terms? She organized the plan. If the author was not an amateur, they could share 8% of the profit from 4,000 copies with that person. The chief editor was slightly surprised. What, that much? The assistant honestly said, actually I was planning to propose 5% from 5,000 copies. He thought for a long while, then made a decision. The initial proposal is better. Contact the author. She quickly replied, yes, I will do it right away. At the same time, in another publishing house, the chief editor, have you read it yet? Seong-woo calmly made coffee, listening to Wong-chun presenting. This novel is really good. What do you think? He agreed. I read it yesterday. The evaluation is very good. I guarantee it has great potential. He insisted. I also think it is very promising. Let's publish it. Seong-woo was surprised. What? Wong-chun requested 10% for 6,000 copies. He hesitated a bit. Isn't that too much? I'm afraid the publisher won't accept it. If the person who signs the contract with us finds out, they might get angry. He laughed confidently. Yesterday I had a prophetic dream. There will surely be at least 10,000 copies published. Seeing that, Seong-woo seemed more convinced. He said, I don't know if things will go that smoothly, but surely this novel will be a phenomenon. Wong-chun was determined. Contact the author. If that person calls, I will meet them myself. Seong-woo immediately replied, okay. At 3 in the morning, on the mountain behind the orchard, Tison was sitting in meditation, veins bulging all over his body. He still fainted like before, but his body endured longer. His breathing became lighter. Tison gathered his strength, performing the great circulation technique. Golden light radiated brightly around him. He couldn't help but laugh. This feels amazing. He extended his hand and released a strange flow of energy. Tison took a deep breath. Countless martial arts moves flashed in his mind. The five-claw Taiji fist. He spun around, eyes shining brightly, forming a wind-cutting kick that tore a leaf in half. Tison pressed his lips to restrain his excitement, finally bursting into a cheer. This is the pinnacle. I will no longer be a failure. Looking at the rising dawn, he remembered that he couldn't practice Taiji fist at home, so he had made a temporary tent on a mountain 500 meters above sea level. After returning, Tison checked, and as expected, 5 publishing companies had contacted him. He nodded in satisfaction. Step 1 completed. For now, just ignore them. The only reason this novel became popular until 2021 was that it was extremely humorous, making people unable to resist reading from beginning to end. Tison typed something on the computer, muttering, "Good benefits for experienced authors. They want to meet me." He crossed his legs and pondered. Many other authors had gone bankrupt before, so there was no rush. Just let them know me first. He chuckled. Who would believe it? In my memory, I clearly remembered many online articles about authors signing contracts with publishing staff and ending up with bitter results. I have to be extremely careful. Moreover, the publisher Nice Media, in a letter wrote, "Hello Mr. Gold River. We are Nice Media Publishing." Tison paid attention to this name. The Magic Warrior novel had already been published by Nice Media. Then one rainy day, his mother asked anxiously, "Where are you going, son? Why all of a sudden?" Tison excitedly boasted, "I'll treat you to a grand meal." His mother thought it was a joke. "You don't even have money." "That's fine. It's been a while since we had a date together. Actually, this trip was planned. I'm on my way to meet the owner of Nice Media Publishing to discuss the contract. But damn, I'm still a minor, so I'm a little worried, because minors aren't allowed to be involved in legally binding agreements. So it requires a parent to act as guarantor. The law involves both wages and penalties, so I need my mother to accompany me as a representative." He helped her out of the car. "Here we are. Mother, be careful." She found it amusing. "You've been so humorous lately." Tison suggested, "Let's go have coffee, Mother." She was a bit surprised. "Coffee? You've already had coffee." He smiled confidently. "Of course, in this weather, let's have an iced Americano." So the mother and son went to a cafe, a popular coffee shop at the time. Tison suddenly asked, "You trust me, right?" She didn't hesitate. "Of course, my son." As they entered, Seongwoo noticed them. Wong Chun didn't think they were the author, just a student. He grumbled, "They're late." Tison smiled in satisfaction. "They're right on time. A plus point." Tison directly started the conversation. "Are you from Nice Media?" The two editors froze. "The author, Gold River." He affirmed in reply, "Yes, that's me," while his mother panicked, "The author." Tison stepped forward to introduce himself. "Hello." He looked confidently at the editors. "I am Gold River." The two, Seongwoo, were stunned. He didn't look like a professional writer at all, just like a student. He hesitated and greeted, "Hello." Wong Chun was puzzled inside. But what is with this aura, the tone so arrogant? Moreover, as soon as he entered, he recognized himself, truly very perceptive. Tison asked gently, "What's the matter?" He shivered slightly. This guy is not ordinary. He hurriedly raised his hand and smiled. "It's nothing. Please have a seat." They awkwardly asked, "You're younger than I thought. May I ask how old you are?" Tison replied briefly, "Second year of high school." They froze and broke into a sweat, and spoke in a very formal way. Indeed, he was not simple. It seems like he won't sign the contract easily. His mother beside him quietly asked, "Son, who are they? And also, Gold River is what?" Seongwoo noticed the person next to him. CEO Choi looked flustered. Tison obviously didn't miss this. They couldn't control their expressions. Another point gained. He decisively asked, "You don't want to sign a contract with a high school student, right?" His mother panicked. "Son, what are you saying?" The two from the publishing office quickly replied, "No, let us introduce first. I am Wong Chun, CEO of Nice Media, and I am Chief Editor Seongwoo." Tison, seeing he had gained the advantage, was pleased. He smiled and introduced me. "Very pleased to meet you." I am Tison. Mother also introduced. These two are the CEO and chief editor of Nice Media Publishing. She asked in shock. What, a publishing company? He explained gently. Yes, that's right, Mother. Today your son will sign a contract with that publishing house. Wong Chun handed over his business card politely and said, very pleased to meet the mother of writer Zhang. I am Wong Chun, CEO of Nice Media. She was stunned. Yes. Tison was extremely pleased. He called me writer Zhang. How cute. He praised wholeheartedly. Your son is amazing. His mother was still very flustered. Wait, what is happening? How is my son a writer? Tison smiled awkwardly. Why can't your son be a writer? She pouted. You know perfectly well how clumsy he writes. How he can be a writer. Moreover, students should focus on studying. What's the point of being a writer? The two editors broke into a sweat. Yes, you are right. Tison then explained, during the vacation, I posted a novel online. If you allow, I will sign the contract. She gasped. A contract? You will sign? Really? Tison reminded helplessly. Really, Mother? You just said you would trust me to the death. She turned pale and weakly said, then I guess my time has come. Wong Chun saw he could not stay silent any longer. Excuse me, madam. Gold River's novel, no, writer Tison's novel is truly captivating. He recently posted the novel online, but it has already gained many fans. You can trust him. Xiangwu added, as an editor, I can say it is the best work I have ever read. Tison, hearing their awkward flattery, was speechless. She thought for a moment. Magic Warrior. The title itself sounds good, Tison proudly said. Mother, your son is very talented. She didn't know what to say and turned to look at her son. Suddenly Tison spoke. You too. May I order coffee? Mother embarrassedly scolded. How can you talk to adults like that? But the editors, out of respect, replied, of course, I'll go order right now. What would you like to drink? He didn't hesitate to order 1 iced coffee and 1 bingsu please. Xiangwu quickly went off to buy them. Tison's eyes sharpened immediately. Did you bring the contract? Wong Chun hurriedly took out a stack of documents. Of course. The writer seemed eager. He replied gently, I'm not eager, I'm just curious. He placed it on the table. Here is the contract. Read it at your leisure. Tison picked it up and read it carefully. His eyes narrowed slightly. He immediately noticed a clause. The publisher will hold secondary rights for 5 years. Clause 16, secondary rights and licensing. During the term of the contract, Nice Media has full authority to use the author's novel, including any fees related to usage, with automatic renewal. Tison raised the corner of his mouth unhappily. Joking, are you? Looking at this, I'm about to take the bar exam. He firmly demanded, secondary rights must belong to the author. Rewrite it before sending it to us. Wong Chun hurriedly explained, the writer probably doesn't know. Secondary rights aren't a big deal. All other authors sign contracts this way. But Tison's attitude was very firm. I don't like this clause. The publisher only has the right to print my work. Moreover, if you want to release it overseas, you must also discuss it with me. He was startled, but he continued to demand. Furthermore, regarding the advance payment, I want 20 million won. The two editors froze. 20 million won. His mother also looked at her son in astonishment. Tison. He crossed his arms and spoke carefully. The guarantee fee and commission for 6,000 printed copies is 10%. If you want to resell, as soon as it is announced, you must send the monthly commission to my account. Wong Chun awkwardly interrupted. Writer Zhang seems a bit too eager. Excuse me, no publisher will advance that much money to a new author. Even though the current views are somewhat promising, there is no guarantee it will last long term. But Tison's eyes landed on his stack of documents. He raised an eyebrow and asked, Did you bring that notebook with you? The two editors were surprised at the unexpected topic. What? Why are you asking about this? Tison's gaze was extremely confident. I'll give you a chance. If you don't like it, you can refuse. Saying that, he placed a USB on the table. The two were still bewildered. What is this, a USB? He went straight to the point. It's the... At that moment, his mother was utterly confused. My son, am I dreaming right now? Tison smiled slightly, thinking, dreaming. You will be even more surprised later. This is only the beginning. Now, let's wait for their reaction. The two editors were reading the manuscript in shock. He smiled faintly as he watched them. Why so stunned? If it is good, just say it. Wang Chun spoke firmly. Writer Zhang, please sign the contract with us. I will pay you 20 million won immediately. Tisun was pleased. A wise decision, boss. Then a new contract was immediately drafted. He handed it to him. We have rewritten the contract as you requested. Please sign here. His mother was still dumbfounded. Tisun. He continued to negotiate, making sure to file the income tax declaration properly, and when you resell it, you must pay me according to the terms of this contract. Wang Chun assured him, of course, I will act according to professional ethics. As Tisun signed, he thought, should I trust them? Oh well, I will just trust the money that shows up in my account. So this is what it feels like to be a writer without using much brain power. Xiangwu explained to his mother, you will serve as the legal representative, so please sign your name too. She nervously complied, yes. After that, he said right away, I have already transferred 20 million won to your account. Tisun's eyes sparkled. Back then, even until his death, his worn-out bank account had never once held even 2 million won. He thought they would fatten me up slowly. Wang Chun stood up and shook his hand. Thank you for signing the contract with us, Writer Zhang. Tisun gave a polite smile. Thank you. This will be mutually beneficial. Now let's go, Mom. He didn't plan to stay any longer. Maybe next time. Now we have to go. In his memory, he still clearly remembered that his mother was not used to dining with strangers, and besides, now money was trivial to him. The four of them left the cafe. Tisun's mother lowered her head. I don't really understand what's happening, but I apologize for any rudeness. Wang Chun politely replied, not at all, ma'am. It is our publishing house's fortune to be able to cooperate with Writer Zhang. Xiangwu suddenly reminded him, right, Writer Zhang, there's one thing I forgot to ask. How many volumes do you plan to write? Judging from the current content, probably around 10 volumes, right? But Tisun denied that. 60 volumes. The two were shocked and horrified. 60. He smiled knowingly. What can I do? I remember up to 59 volumes. Such a masterpiece would be cruel to the readers if there were only 20. Both sides negotiated 60 volumes. Is that too long? Don't worry about the manuscript. There will be 60 volumes. We will handle the situation and discuss further next time. Even though they said that, Tisun was confident. In a few days, even if there are 100 volumes, they will gladly publish them. Today I have a lot to do. After parting from the editors, his mother asked, where are we going now, son? He smiled and said, we're stopping by the bank for a bit. She looked slightly anxious. Do you have business there? The joy on Tisun's face was unmistakable. Yes, mother. It's very important. She asked anxiously, what exactly is going on? Son, can you tell me, how did you suddenly become a writer, and even earn 20 million? But now he is still calculating. I need to start working tomorrow afternoon, so I have to hurry to open a stock account today. Tisun's mother asked again, should we discuss this with your father? He didn't plan to do that. For now he was still just a kid dependent on his parents. With this 20 million, he could pay off all of his father's debt and interest, but he didn't touch the money just yet. Tisun's eyes shone brightly. You still trust me, right, mother? She stammered, I trust you, but... He smiled confidently. Give me 1 month. I'll tell father myself. Tisun had already made his calculations. This was just the first step. It was the golden goose for his family. His mother finally responded gently. At the same time, Tisun also noticed something. The rain had stopped. Come, mother, I'll treat you to jajang noodles. She happily linked arms with her son and added some sweet and sour fried meat too. Your son is rich now. He didn't hesitate, okay, dear mother. In the following days, Tisun returned home. He always meditated in the little tent upstairs, sitting through the night until dawn. Then suddenly, Tisun's eyes burst open. I've seen it, all the details. Everything is ready. Now to the battlefield. The game is in my hands. Now it's my turn to drain them. He nostalgically looked at the computer screen. It's been a long time. The transactions are real. Huh, so cute. This game is like a card game? Teeson laughed loudly. You're all dead. Let's begin. Looking at the numbers, he calculated. The unit price starts at 22.51 in the bear market. The price of a small stock in the market is 50 billion won. This situation would repeat several times. Now it was time to act as a top stockbroker. When it came to quick hands, there was no question. When 20,000 shares were bought, the average unit price was 2,500 won. Watching the fluctuation data, Teeson whispered, "They are panicking now. From now on, let us take care of each other." In a financial office, someone shouted, "Department head, the fund has been withdrawn." He panicked. What? How much? This was the opening scene when the office erupted. 20,000 shares. The department head grew anxious. Had someone noticed in advance? The employee asked worriedly, "What should we do now?" He gritted his teeth and ordered, "What else can we do? There will be an announcement soon. For now, divide it up. We do not know when another lucky bastard like that will appear, so pay attention. If we fail now, we will be finished." The department head suddenly felt a chill. He is like a ghost holding all the secrets in his hands. Who exactly is he? He sighed. Truly a lucky bastard. The department head clearly knew the estimated income from this campaign reached 10 million won. If things went badly, at least 10 people would suffer. Back at Teeson's house, he was still jubilant. This much money. Unbelievable. 46 million in 3 days. Insane. After clearing the uncollected items, I still have 26 million. Should I keep playing? I still do not feel satisfied. He laughed absurdly. I haven't even started yet. Who would complain about money, right? Teeson was full of confidence. This much money is still nothing to me. In the past, even though I had been a broker, I had never pulled tricks this big. Next week, there would be news about the development of a certain drug, and the stock charts would stabilize. He entered the code of a declining stock. Pleased with his calculations, today you win. Let the money run for now. Unexpectedly, the knowledge about soaring stock values that I learned back when I was a broker turned out to be useful. Now the stock market is buzzing. Teeson worked confidently. The trick was already in his hands. After Teeson's novel was published, someone came to buy books and asked, "Is there a new novel, boss?" The shop owner replied, "Yes, a new one came in, but the title is a bit unusual. It should be Magic Warrior." The customer took it from the shelf. The cover looked fine. As he read, he commented, "This is actually pretty fun." He immediately decided, "I'll take this one." Someone nearby asked, "Really? I find the main character a bit boring." The customer explained, "It's funny, and the plot moves fast. From a quick glance, it's interesting." This comment also caught the attention of other customers. Magic Warrior. Huh. The shop owner urged, "Hey kid, like the red book? Pay here." The young customer smiled. "Yes, I'm buying it." Then he took it home to tell friends, to let them try reading. "I'll tell you, it's fun." That night, the novel caused a stir in many places. "Boss, that book is amazing. How did it sell so fast? Was it fun to read?" "Exactly your taste, boss. The next volume has all been pre-ordered." During this time at Teeson's home, the whole family was eating together. While everyone was happily enjoying the meal, his mother noticed his father seemed a bit off. She hesitated and asked, "Is something wrong, dear?" Teeson's father paused, then picked up some rice. He ate blandly, the smile still on his thin face. "Nothing. Don't worry. Just eat." Teeson's twin younger siblings worried. "What's wrong? Father, you look pale. Go to the hospital, Dad." Teeson whispered to himself, "I guess now I have to say it. Goodbye to this poor life." He slammed his chopsticks on the table. "The food is amazing. Mother's bean soup is truly top-notch." The other three were speechless. "Be a little more subtle, gosh." He winked at her. "Don't worry, Mom." Seeing his mother's delighted face, Teeson determined, "I will cheer up my father." So he spoke up. "Does the whole family have time today?" The two younger siblings were puzzled. "Because of that, brother, we're eating now." She pretended not to know and asked, "Is there something wrong, son?" Teeson was speechless. "So fake, Mom." He laughed and said to the whole family, "Today I'll treat everyone, all out." The two younger siblings clearly didn't believe him. "Really, brother?" His father also weakly tried to refuse. "Tison, today I'm a bit." Tison glanced at his father's sad face. He smiled and urged, "Today Mom will take Dad along, right Mom?" She agreed, "Of course." Tison reminded everyone, "Dad, bring your ID, and you too bring your student cards." This time even his mother didn't understand why bring an ID. Tison smiled mysteriously, just for something important. The two kids were curious. "What's wrong with you today? Did you secretly get a part-time job?" He waved it off. "Don't ask so much, kids." Only 2 years older than them, Tison felt extremely excited. His time had come. Thinking on the way, the two younger siblings were shocked. The older brother is a writer. "What's this royalty? Is it money?" He replied vaguely, "Not much anyway." The 5 of them went to the city. In the center, countless people bustled about. The two younger sisters were excited. "It's been so long since we went to the city with the whole family. How long has it been?" "First time, really." Their eyes lit up with excitement. "Look, that's the latest phone model, an Enicall. So beautiful. A 1.3 megapixel camera. This is so cute." Tison wasn't very interested. 13 megapixels. Tison's father urged, "We can't buy it. Kids, let's go." But Tison said, "Take whichever you like." The whole family was stunned. "Really?" The two younger sisters' eyes widened. "Brother buying for us?" "Anyone is fine." Tison's father quickly waved his hands. "You're still young. Bees are expensive, even if he has royalty money." Tison then took the two along. Parents should also pick matching phones, very cute designs. His mother knew exactly how much money he had, so she didn't refuse. "Thanks, son, I'll pick 2. Tison's father was flustered. "Me?" His mother pointed at a model. "I like this one. And you, pick one to match." Tison also chose one. "I'll take this black one." The two younger sisters became even more excited. Big brother is the best. Did he really buy it? Then he could only awkwardly watch his son pay. "I'll settle it all at once. Just put it all on me. My two younger siblings aren't old enough yet, so let Mom and Dad put their names on it." The shop owner took the card. The total was 2,170,000 won. The whole family was shocked. "What? 2,170,000 won?" Tison just smiled and nodded. "Thanks." The shop owner, seeing such a big customer, immediately gave a promotion. "We won't charge for the pre-order." The two younger sisters were overjoyed. "Big brother is the best. You're even treating us to lunch." Tison confidently replied, "Of course." Meanwhile, at the financial building, "What?" The department head slammed the table and stood up. "What the hell happened this morning?" The employees reported back. "Sir, I don't know. It came from Kaum, Yondi, and Gubo." He immediately asked, "That much? What's the total?" The employee dared not believe it. 1 billion won, sir. The department head was furious. "Who is this guy now? Is it the same one as last time?" The employees said no, the amount this time is different. "Could be a major billionaire." He frowned irritably. "Some guy who doesn't know anything about ethics in this world. A damn bastard." Two employees worriedly asked, "What should we do, sir?" The head roared with anger. "What do you mean, what should we do? Just follow the plan. If he throws it out, grab it immediately." Back at Tison's family, he suddenly stopped while walking. Everyone asked nervously, "What's wrong, brother? Are you okay?" He turned to them and smiled slightly. "Let's go in." Then he pushed open the door of the shop right next door. "Here it is. Let's go into this store for a bit." The parents were astonished. "Son, this place is..." In the end, they had to enter the car showroom. The shop owner enthusiastically greeted Samyang, our safe and reliable car brand. Tison was satisfied. "Nothing is more important than the safety of my family." The highlight of the day? He immediately chose a 7-seater car. Mom asked, "How's this car?" The shop owner quickly introduced the Rockstone SUV, the flagship product of Samyang. She hesitated. "It's nice, dear." Tison agreed. "Perfect for driving the two little ones to school." His father broke out in a cold sweat. "Tison, what's gotten into you today?" The two younger sisters' eyes lit up. Brother will drive us to school in a car, Dad. But his father looked troubled. Do you really think our family needs this car, given our current situation? Teason smiled confidently. Don't worry, Dad. From today things will be different. Just relax. Teason's mother also took something out of her bag. Dear, earlier your son secretly bought this. His father, astonished, took it, a bank book. She explained, your son's novel is really selling well. He stared at the numbers in horror, stammering in disbelief. 50 million won. My son has this much money. Teason's mother gently said, our son has grown up, hasn't he? He looked up. This kid, Teason pointed at himself, just trust me. Finally, his father smiled. Grown up already? He nodded and replied, all right, of course I trust you. Teason couldn't hide his own smile. He understood his father's feelings. The money from buying that phone alone was enough to pay this month's interest. Don't worry, from today, I will write a new chapter in the Jang family history. Then he turned to ask the shop owner, is this car available in stock? The man was puzzled. Excuse me. Teason decided firmly, if not, the display model will do. The two younger siblings went to sit inside and try it. Then he led them shopping. He silently vowed, from now on, I will be the pillar of this family. His parents smiled proudly. The two little girls were even brighter. I love Big Brother the most. By evening, the outing came to an end. Some time later, at the bus station, Teason adjusted his clothes while waiting, feeling strange. He was a bit dreamy. How long has it been since I last returned to school? Watching the old bus approaching, he suddenly felt nostalgic. Am I really a high school student again? He followed the crowd onto the bus, passing by the driver he hadn't seen for a long time. Standing in the crowd, he reflected, everything is still as it used to be. Teason's eyes followed every line of people, especially a girl in uniform. He smiled faintly. It's been a long time since we last. Teason went to his usual seat by the window. Sitting down, he reminisced, this familiar spot of mine, it's been so long. He put on his headphones. Everything was still the same. Pleasant music played, blending with the sounds of people around. Teason looked around. Every day on the bus, he listened to music by Im Moon Si on the way to school. The melody was gentle. I go searching for memories. I keep searching, searching, searching. Then he had another thought. Today Xiaodang will hit the market. Even though I'm at school, my investment will automatically be added. Now my net assets have surpassed 1 billion. I've already set everything on autopilot. Usually, these ants don't invest in stocks without volatility. They bet their lives on skyrocketing stocks and enjoy the ups and downs of value. They throw themselves into gambling, and that obsession is ruthlessly exploited by the high-level powers. I'm one of those ants, and to the powers, the charts mean nothing. In the end, the ants can't do anything against them. And the result is having all their blood drained. However, I hold knowledge and foresight in the palm of my hand. Even a stock market master can't stop me from seizing opportunities. Suddenly, a voice caught Teason's attention. How boring, the vacation is over so soon. Why is your skin so tan? Did you go farm chili peppers or something? Teason was surprised. It was them. Two girls were chatting. No, I went to the beach with my family. Really? So jealous. Teason recognized them. This was Mijin, who always bragged about her trips, and next to her was Naeong, her constantly envious friend. Suddenly, the two girls stopped in front of him. Their eyes were fixed on Teason. He was equally stunned. It turned out they were mesmerized. So handsome. Oh my God, I could swoon. Seeing them staring, Teason politely spoke. If your bags are too heavy, I can hold them for you. They blushed but didn't refuse. Mine's really heavy. Me too. He took them all, sure, and gave them to me. Other female students also paid attention. Who is he? He looks familiar. I think I've met him before. The boys were clearly not happy. There's a guy flirting with the girls here, but his face looks familiar. Several people kept observing Teason. Myung-chul's partner blocked the view. Couldn't see clearly. Should we go ask him? Are you crazy? Teason also noticed from behind. That's right, the upper-class kids are also on this bus. The girls were all captivated, not knowing who he was, but he was very attractive, my type. Teason smirked and put on his headphones. Girls this age were still a bit naive, but in a few years they would become bold enough to actively ask men for their numbers. As expected, they were mesmerized. Oh my, he's smiling, I'm in love, I'm going to talk to him. In his ears the familiar music still played. In the neighborhood he was very well behaved. No one ever saw him drunk. Meanwhile a familiar figure appeared. His mother had reminded him about everything, but forgot to tell him not to get drunk. Teason's eyes lit up as he looked at the girl, small sweet lips and slender legs. He froze, almost wanting to jump up. The person he wanted to see again, the one he had always admired from afar, When arriving at school, his friends immediately crowded around Teason. How many vegetables have you eaten? You look completely different. So handsome today, Teason teased. The new uniform really suits you, like it was made just for you, he thought to himself. Now that I'm at school, all lingering emotions when meeting my old love suddenly vanish. Tears of emotion well up. I missed you all so much. Teason was always sniffly from rhinitis. Jong-suk shaved his head, determined to study hard, but his grades were still terrible. Hyun-chul was balding even though he was barely any age. And Dejung, when it comes to food, has no sense of brotherhood at all. Bong-suk spent all day calling himself a poet and acting like he was very rich. Teason crowded around Teason. Did you secretly take your dad's growth medicine? Why are you so tall? Teason teased back. If you skip the P-1ECFN, you'll be as tall as me. He flailed. Living without P-1ECFN, I'd rather die. Teason laughed. Then I'll kill you. Teason angrily punched this guy crazy. But Teason grabbed his collar, and the two of them joked around. That hurt you, dummy. You're the crazy one. Teason shouted. Stop, stop, I give up. How are you so strong? Did you go to the gym during vacation? Teason's eyes were sharp. Now that I'm in high school, of course I have to train my body. He teased. Geez, planning to enter a sports school or what? You crazy fool. Just then someone outside shouted, You guys are too noisy. A hand pushed open the classroom door. His entire head dyed white and threatening. This isn't a kindergarten. You little brats, shut up and move. The whole group jumped. Sunghyun, okay? Teason also remembered him. In every environment there are trashy people, the despicable who only bully the weak. The guy strode in arrogantly. Damn Teason, long time no see. You've grown taller, huh? Teason frowned, annoyed, couldn't stand his laugh. Thanks to this scheming guy, I even got depressed. Sunghyun, he was a member of a third-tier gang called Scorpion. At school he was the class boss. Now he was acting irritated. You dog, I'm asking you, haven't you opened your mouth to answer? Teason smiled and replied, Are you jealous? Sunghyun was shocked and ashamed into anger. What, jealous? The others didn't expect he would dare confront him. His friends were left speechless. He sneered, No wonder you get beaten every day. Been skipping school too long and itching to fight, huh? Teason stepped in to calm things. How could I disrespect a dog? Oh no, a guy not even worth a dog. Sunghyun stood stunned, unable to believe his ears. What? Teason repeated the words, You are even worse than an animal. The classmates trembled and tried to dissuade him. Are you playing with fire? Do you want your head smashed in or what? But Teason's gaze was razor sharp. It was time for revenge, to return blows for the brutal beatings of his miserable past. Sunghyun stepped forward with fury, barking and seeing what happened. Looks like this guy has developed a lot of courage. Bark again and see. Teason found it ridiculous. This guy is amusing. The thug growled a threat. You dare to laugh. And Teason understood fully that for him, violence was power. Just then the classroom door opened. Teacher Kim shouted, Come in. What are you two doing? Seeing the class so quiet, I thought you were all studying diligently. What are you glaring at each other for? Teason grinned. Teacher, long time no see. We were just joking around. The friends were speechless. Have you no shame? Sunghyun tried to hold back his anger. Daring to act cute in front of me, huh? The teacher entered and scolded. Class, settle down. Return to your seats quickly. Teason replied promptly. Yes, teacher. The friends behind breathed a sigh of relief. Thank goodness the teacher came, or we would have been in trouble. Hope he does not say anything more. No sooner had they thought that than Tison called out, "Hey Sunghyun, let's meet at lunch." The whole crew gaped, destiny. The thug widened his eyes in disbelief. What the hell? Gnashing his teeth in rage, this guy, do you want to die? I will grant your wish. At the end of the period, teacher Kim shouted, "Repeat after me. The higher the college entrance score, the higher the college entrance score, then the wife will be more beautiful, then the wife will be more beautiful." Even though the class found it funny, Sunghyun remained extremely annoyed. During the break after the first period, some friends hurried to inform him, "You are done for Tison. Sunghyun is gathering his gang." Tison answered calmly, "I know." By the break after the second period, the friends panicked and wanted to wake him. "What did you eat today?" Avoiding a fight is not cowardice. It is just that you do not want to get dirty. Do you understand? Yes, Tison, still half asleep. But I like to clean things up more. After the break following period 3, the whole gang was about to go crazy. Rethink it. Play less reckless. Finally, it was lunchtime. Tison looked helplessly at his friends. "Aren't you guys going to eat? Why are you so worked up?" The 5 of them angrily scolded, "You idiot. How can we swallow this? Thanks to you, we're about to end up dead and scattered. Did you eat bear bile or what? Do you know how vicious Sunghyun's gang is? They're known to play dirty." Bongsuk whimpered, "Thanks to you being almost on the funeral table." Tison scoffed and urged, "Enough talk, let's eat." The group was furious. "What do you mean? Enough talk. You're heading to your death. How can we eat?" He couldn't help but feel moved. These guys, brothers after all. Then someone came in. "Where's that dimwit?" Sunghyun led his crew to block the classroom door. His henchmen threatened, "You lot gathered here plotting something. It's only the first day back at school and you're like this." Tison directly retorted, "Pipe down." The friends panicked. "Oh God, has he lost his mind?" Sunghyun was furious. "What? Pipe down? Who is this dimwit? Do you want to die? You'll get what's coming to you." He taunted gently, "Why don't you shut up and follow me? This is a sacred place of learning. Don't defile it." The friends tried to intervene. "Tison, you're crazy," while the henchmen kept cursing. "Anywhere you go, you'll only be a salt seller. We won't get paid if we don't beat you ugly." But he turned to his friends and said, "Chill guys, after this I'll buy pizza." They went pale. "How can we chill now?" Tison jokingly said, "If it's my first fight I have to celebrate." The friends nearly fainted. "At this point you still think about pizza. Worry about your own skin, idiot." Sunghyun ordered from the other side, "Bring the whole lot out." He nodded inwardly. "Right, call them all out. Spring is the ideal time to clean up." Both sides moved out to the empty yard. A line of bodyguards stood in formation and saluted. "Yes, sir." Tison handed his phone to his friend Dejung. "I'm counting on you." He got the hint and took it. "Got it." Then Tison turned to face the enemy. Tison's group of 6 fought against dozens of surrounders. Dejung immediately opened his phone and recorded the entire scene. On the other side, Sunghyun was negotiating with his followers. "Sorry guys, because of that insolent brat we could not have lunch." They replied enthusiastically, "No problem, sir." He then offered a perk. "Today I will treat you all. There will even be some girls." They got excited. "Thanks boss, boss is the best." He noticed the unexpected joy. Partying and drinking with girls, these guys sure know how to enjoy themselves. Tison suddenly spoke up. "Sunghyun, I have a question." The thug sneered, "Asking me, huh? That move cannot be taken back, kid." But Tison acted meek. "Why do you keep bullying me and the weak students? Aren't we supposed to be friends?" While inwardly calculating, anyone would think this is a ridiculous question. Sunghyun put his hands on his hips, full of contempt. "There are many reasons. I hate having to attend the same school as you lowly people. I hate the smell of the guy who has kimchi for breakfast. I also hate the tofu brain mush in your heads. You pathetic poor people disgrace my eyes." This attitude pleased Tison. "Good answer." He replied sadly, "But we are still friends. Beating friends and extorting money is very bad. Your father is lawyer Jang Hyuk and a prominent member of the city council. If he knew you lived like this..." Sung-hyun responded mockingly. What, my old man? In T-sun's mind a plan had already formed. Now uses his father's name and status. The thug laughed loudly and arrogantly. You worry about flies and gnats, no need for your concern. He already said it, for lowly scum, trample them until they cannot raise their heads. Hearing this, T-sun inwardly resented it. Look at his family education. T-sun's gaze darkened, so he used his father's status to bully others. He bragged arrogantly. Of course, the principal's son and the head of the management department are both acquaintances of my old man. As long as cash is flashed, everything will be smoothed over. The answer pleased him greatly. Sounds good. So he feigned pleading, please spare my friends, they did nothing wrong. Sung-hyun sneered contemptuously. Why not? Plenty of reasons. They're just lowly scum daring to answer back to me. Taking this opportunity, I will teach you a lesson until you cannot open your mouths again. T-sun pretended to bow meekly. I apologize on their behalf. Please spare them. The thug pressed his advantage. Apologize? Have you been gaming 180 minutes straight? Who do you think you are? He tried to negotiate. I will pay you, though secretly delighted. Caught in dad's net now, kid. Sung-hyun laughed arrogantly and demanded money. Fine. If you pay me 100,000 won, I will forgive you. T-sun immediately took out some small change. This is my parents' sweat and tears money, and 1 month's spending money. I apologize again. Please spare my friends. The thug looked surprised. This dimwit is actually fairly well off. Just won the lottery or what? T-sun weakly begged. Please spare them. Sung-hyun then flashed a cruel smile and slapped him directly, making T-sun inwardly bitter. You dog. He had expected it, but it still hurt like hell. Finish this play already. The friends were worried. T-sun. He wiped the blood from his mouth and stood up. The face that had lost its meekness signaled back. Dejun caught that signal and was startled. He immediately understood and turned off the recording phone. T-sun smiled and wiped the corner of his mouth. Now let's clean up the trash. He looked at the thugs about to leave. Sung-hyun, where are you going? If you leave now, what's the fun? T-sun taunted. I am not finished with you yet. Sung-hyun ground his teeth. You bastard, repeat that. He kept laughing. You piece of trash. If our ancestors knew you lived like this, they would rise from the grave. That enraged the thug. You dog. T-sun, do you have no limits? T-sun faced his enemy unafraid. Well then, they must have done terrible deeds to have a grandson like you. Sung-hyun's henchman angrily barked. Are you done with life? Back off, boss. Sung-hyun's face bulged with veins. Damn that guy. He ordered his men to shut the kid up, and they rushed forward wielding wooden clubs, shouting die. Then the lead thug got knocked out by one punch from T-sun. The sight stunned the whole gang. What? Him? They froze as their man flew back, horrified. How is this possible? T-sun smiled inwardly. Sorry, I just did not know my own strength yet. The henchman panicked. Sung-hyun shouted wildly, what the hell are you doing? And attacked him already, and the men came to their senses and charged again. Yes, sir, we understand. T-sun thought with satisfaction. I was only defending myself. I am not stupid. Sung-hyun lost his temper and ordered, tear him apart, beat him to pulp. T-sun stifled a laugh and thought, let us see. As a fist swung close, T-sun leaned and countered with a punch to the face. After he felled one man, the whole gang surged forward. But he remained calm, stepping back lightly to avoid the swinging clubs, even quickly taking down the two leading men and leaving them with blank eyes and unconscious. The whole gang, terrified, heard their leader shout, do not retreat, keep hitting. Yet no matter how many rushed in, they were felled by T-sun in the blink of an eye. Sung-hyun stared in disbelief, but in that instant T-sun also drove a knee into another man. He hurriedly ordered, impossible, you lot go too, and the cronies replied, yes. But the number of defeated henchmen kept increasing. T-sun fought fiercely without sparing anyone. The remaining men grabbed wooden clubs, wrapped them with barbed wire, and charged to ambush him, kill him. Sung-hyun watched in astonishment. Is that really T-sun? Before him, T-sun kicked away the enemy's weapons in a single motion and even wounded them. T-sun coldly warned, do not play dirty. It is dangerous. Those words made the gang turn pale. After the mob attack, he did not have a single wound, and he arrogantly ordered, "What are you staring at? Kneel down now." The henchman obediently complied, while Sunghyun broke out in a cold sweat. Taesun smiled gently. "You too, Sunghyun." He still tried to keep his mouth hard. "Taesun, you dog, you think I will let you go?" Taesun slowly approached Sunghyun. He stammered back, "You? What do you want? Do not come here." Taesun decisively slapped him, leaving Sunghyun even more bewildered. "You." He did not understand why suddenly he was so frightening. His eyes were icy cold. "Do not make me repeat this. You will bear the consequences." Taesun was determined, and experienced again what you did to others. Sunghyun was so scared he started to cry. "You think my father will let you be? I will not forgive you," he hoped. "You are not afraid." He sneered and raised a contemptuous finger. "Whatever you spit stinks, you dog." Damn, in truth Taesun was very satisfied. "I sweated too. What a refreshment." The thug charged wildly. "Fuck you. You think I'm afraid of you?" Sunghyun swung his fist. "I will kill you." But Taesun reacted very quickly, using his rigid hand to counter. Sunghyun felt a numbness spread up his arm. His hand seemed to hurt, so much blood spurted. You could even hear the cracking of bones. Sunghyun clutched his arm and screamed in pain. Each knuckle shattered, leaving him unable to hold back tears. Sunghyun rolled on the ground, crying, "Mom, my hand, my hand. You bastard, I will kill you. Wipe out your whole family." Taesun smiled as calmly as possible. "It seems like you have not had enough beating yet." He recalled inwardly that this was a line from an anti-evil war movie, a very famous film in the future. Those words stunned the thug. "What?" Instantly Sunghyun's howl was pitiful and tore the sky. The henchman dared not intervene, only turning pale and sweating. "Oh my." Red blood sprayed everywhere, hiding the terrifying blows. Finally, he lay unconscious on the ground. Taesun smiled faintly, thinking, stopping now would be a pity. Should I toy with Lawyer Hong a bit? He turned and called a henchman, Dejung, and gave me the phone. He hesitated and answered, "Ah, okay." Taesun dialed a string of familiar numbers and then used his energy to report. 113 right, there is a bloody fight here. Location is the mountain behind Jangju School. About 20 people were injured. Please send 119 immediately. He already had a plan. I will add fuel to the fire. After being taken to the hospital, everyone wailed, "My hand won't move, my leg." Doctors and patients hurried. "Where does it hurt?" "My chest. My head hurts so much." "Nurse, quickly take this student's blood pressure." Meanwhile, in the IQ VIP room, the assistant read the chart. "It will take 16 weeks to recover. The bones and joints in the right arm are completely shattered. The surgery was successful, but later the kid will be disabled." Looking at his son on the bed, Jang Hyuk growled, "That damn brat. Where is he?" The secretary asked blankly, "What?" The old man angrily shouted, "That bastard who left my son like this. Where is he?" Jang Hyuk's eyes were filled with murderous intent, and locked him up quickly. The secretary reported, "Kyungmi has started already, but the student was also injured and is currently being treated in the emergency room." Jang Hyuk shouted in disbelief, "A student? How can someone like that be a student? What do you mean you cannot detain a student? My son will be disabled for life." The secretary weakly replied, "Not like that, sir. Sorry, sir." He immediately ordered contact with the school management. "I wanted to see them," and the secretary hurriedly obeyed. "Yes, sir." He raged with hatred. Not only him but his whole family must pay. Meanwhile, in another ward the boy was being questioned. Name, Taesun. Class 4 Year 2 Jangju High School. Right. Officer Dongseok took notes and asked, "Why did you do this?" Taesun feigned confusion. "Do what, sir?" He irritably demanded. "Why did you attack those students?" Taesun went pale and stammered, Inspector, you are overstepping. I am the victim. Those thugs over there are the criminals. They beat me. I am also a patient." Dongseok barked back, "You still deny. You are the one who assaulted them, right? Tell the truth now. If I investigate, it will come out anyway." Taesun smiled inwardly. The inspector had no idea he was being recorded. He kept raising his voice like giving orders, speaking up. Why did you attack those students? Did you deliberately call them out because you dislike those upperclassmen? Using bullying tactics. If they had no money, they would borrow from friends. You cannot claim they extorted you. Tison directly asked, Inspector, have you taken the money already? Dongseok ground his teeth. This brat. His gaze pierced. Why is the inspector only questioning me? Moreover, I am still a minor. My legal representative or guardian is not present. The inspector has no right to interrogate someone like a criminal, right? He still tried to threaten. So what? That snot-nosed brat. What are you babbling about? I have met troublemakers like you more than once. Insolent little punk. Tison trembled and cried out, Stop! Sir, I feel dizzy. What? Tison protested tearfully. The inspector is trying to kill me. He is treating me like a criminal. The doctor snapped angrily. What are you doing to this student? Are you crazy? He is a patient. Can't you question him gently? What if his condition worsens? Will you take responsibility? Dongseok forced a guilty smile. It is not like that. Just then the nurse noticed Tison. She trembled and called out, Doctor, the patient. He seemed to have fainted. He panicked. What? The nurse, where the nurse is, prepares to lower his blood pressure and move the patient now. Quickly do an X-ray and MRI. This is an emergency. It may be a concussion in the early stage. Check his head thoroughly. The girls shouted, Yes. The doctor scolded him again. Are you here to assault patients? Cut to Jangju High School. In the meeting room, the school director was speaking. As you all know, yesterday a bullying incident occurred at our school. Recently, school violence has reached an alarming level. The school needed to swiftly implement measures. One of the teachers angrily said that the boy must be expelled. He humiliated more than 30 students that day. Teacher Kim objected. What are you saying? That was 30 against 1. If we punish that student, then the remaining students must also be punished. Other teachers confronted him. What, Teacher Kim? Are you defending your student? Teacher Kim, sweating, explained, punishing only him would be unfair. Principal Yang then spoke up. So Teacher Kim means that all students involved in this incident should be expelled. He grew weak. No, we should propose a more balanced solution. He interrupted Tison. Class 4 Year 2 Jangju High School. Expelled him. The media has reported on this incident. Everyone is watching us. This could be a serious stain on the school. But if we punish the offending students strictly, the school's image will improve. Afterwards, he convalesced in the hospital. Tison typed nimbly on the computer. The screen displayed a series of complex lists and charts. He happily snacked. He was diagnosed with a concussion and required 8 weeks of rest, so he did not have to attend school, and Tison was extremely pleased. Wonderful indeed. The special care room was very quiet. What is money for? Of course, to enjoy. Pretend a little, and you can fool them all. Thanks to that, he could learn the subjects he needed from solution books and online lessons. Study while trading stocks. His mind never rested. He could not hide a triumphant smile. Looking at the stock figures made him ecstatic. Money begetting more money. Today's profit had already reached 700 million, and the trend was still rising. It was indeed a perfect time to work. At that moment someone entered. Mr. Tison, how do you feel about this? He smiled sheepishly. Uncle Lawyer, you can just call me by my name. I am only a high school student, no need for formality. The man hesitated, but that is the operating policy of the law firm. Very well then, Tison. He watched with satisfaction. I have hired a lawyer. His name is Yoon-tae. Samwoo is one of the top 3 law firms in Korea. There is nothing money cannot solve. Tison laughed. You are so stiff. He smiled back, which is why I was pushed out of the organization. Tison already knew the fellow's background. Formerly Prosecutor Jo served as Deputy Chief Prosecutor of the District Prosecution Office, and after retirement he became a lawyer, a first-class public servant. Tison asked curiously, but you have not completely cut ties with them, have you? Yoon-tae seemed surprised. Tison knows about that organization too. He mused about the organization, then added, I do not know much, but if you make the wrong move, that step will be a blade cutting your neck. Tison's eyes bore an unfathomable meaning. I not only know, but I know clearly about the organization that will represent the face of future prosecutors that you still do not know. Voices arguing could be heard from outside. I do not care. The doctor ordered that he must rest. Another voice shouted back, why is a prosecutor from the bureau here? If you obstruct my investigation, you will be charged with resisting an officer. Understand? Yunti signaled reassurance to him. Tison nodded in understanding. Dongseok barged into the room. You brat, you are finished today. Prosecutor Kyungjung from the Crime Prevention Unit has come to arrest you. He listened calmly as the man shouted. Kyungjung pushed up his sharp spectacles and said he had heard Tison was concussed, but seemed very lucid. Dongseok kept shouting, stop pretending. Get up now, you brat. The prosecutor is already here, and you're still pretending to be the victim. Tison pressed his temples in frustration. He's really loud. From start to finish, he kept accusing him. And there's a prosecutor too. Just like a parasite, this so-called interrogation is clearly just him leeching money from Mr. Janghyuk. Tison calmly asked, is there an arrest warrant? Dongseok roared again. What? An arrest warrant? What nonsense are you spouting, kid? Tison found it amusing. Flustered, didn't you? Today you're done for. He calmly requested, may I see your inspector ID? Kyungjung was slightly surprised and sneered, look at what this brat is saying, show him. Inspector Kim, the assistant called out, yes sir. This snot-nosed kid dares to act knowledgeable in front of a prosecutor. Want to be really shocked? Look closely, brat, I am Dongsik, a prosecutor of the prosecution office. Tison sighed inwardly, typical of a bribed government official. He didn't rush. He looked at the ID. But what about an arrest warrant? Dongseok laughed coldly, threatening, this brat is stubborn. Do you even know what an arrest warrant is? Tison smiled to himself. Of course I know. I've prepared everything. Why wouldn't I know? He calmly spoke. The Constitution of the Republic of Korea guarantees basic human rights. If a government agency wants to arrest, detain, confiscate, search a person's body or property, they must have an arrest warrant issued by a court, as stipulated in Articles 12 and 16 of the Constitution, correct? Let me read Articles 12 and 16. Arrest warrants are divided into two types. One is a permit letter issued if requested by a prosecutor. The other is an order issued by the court without a prosecutor's request. Under criminal procedure, arrest warrants, search warrants, and temporary release orders are issued when requested by the prosecutor, all duly authorized. The prosecutors were stunned. This brat. Tison did not stop, and according to that procedure, the juvenile court would issue detention orders, search warrants, verification orders, and other equivalent orders. That is what I know. Do I need to say anything more? His sharp attitude made them hesitate. He angrily shouted, I am the victim here. Why are you only targeting me? This hospital room also counts as my residence space, right? The prosecutors argued back. You are still in school, aren't you? Instead of learning math formulas or English vocabulary, their argument was heard by many in the hospital. Prosecutor Kyungjung, you are an intelligent man. Surely you know this is true. They are disguising interrogation to threaten me. Though his tone was severe, Tison was still calculating inwardly. Maybe I should add a little salt and spice. That would be much more interesting. He kept questioning them. Even if I am a high school student, can you come here without a lawyer? Should not the prosecutor protect the weak? Kyungjung sneered coldly. The weak? You, nonsense. How dare you in front of me? Tison frowned angrily. You look like a madman. He despised, spitting out that pile of stupid and hollow law. You poor lowly lot, do not expect much. He suddenly laughed and asked, so you intend to coerce me? Kyungjung impatiently ordered, Inspector Kim, go fetch the emergency arrest warrant. Do not let this brat stay here spouting nonsense. I will call the court. The warrant will come quickly. And he immediately obeyed. Understood. Tison grasped the point. Aha, you already talked to the court then. Dongseok approached threateningly. You're finished, kid, daring to brag in front of a top prosecutor. But Tison could not hide his amusement. He did not expect them to play all their strong moves in a single sweep. Thiessen spoke coldly. Even knowing you are all rotten, I did not expect it to be this extreme. What did you just say? From the inspector to the prosecutor, and now even the judge. Kyung-jung gritted his teeth and whispered, "That bastard." Thiessen glanced at him with disdain. "Oh, is this really my country?" The man could not restrain himself wanting to act. "That bastard." But just then someone shouted stop. A doctor ran in to block them. "What are you doing?" Thiessen was slightly surprised. "He is gutsy." Dong-seok barked irritably. "Move aside. Do you not see we are performing official duties?" The doctor panicked and waved. "Please leave or I will call the police." He waved them off dismissively. "Police? Ha! Someone like you. Know your place and scram. This kid has already been judged and is at risk of escaping. We have already requested an arrest warrant." He did not agree to argue. "You cannot, if the patient has any harm. Our doctors must be responsible. Please go outside." Thiessen smiled hearing this. He was secretly touched. This is a true healer. After all, only he knew the entire encounter was being recorded. Should I put on more of a show, or practice taekwondo a bit? His face flushed red, startling the doctor. "What's wrong with you? Snap out of it. Nurse, prepare the defibrillator." Thiessen thought to himself, "My performance has reached its peak." The prosecutors were pale with fear at this scene. Someone rushed in shouting Kyung-jung. He turned and saw Yoon-tae. Kyung-jung's face went pale. "Oh no, it is Deputy Chief Joe. What is he doing here?" Yoon-tae stepped forward and slapped him hard. Kyung-jung fell backward furious. "Are you thugs?" Dong-seok trembled wanting to explain. "Deputy Chief, this matter?" Yoon-tae directly struck him again. Dong-seok collapsed like his accomplice, causing the rest to be terrified. He took out his phone and called a number. On the other end someone answered. "Oh my, hello boss, how have you been? Since retirement you haven't called me." Yoon-tae did not hesitate to scold. "Young-chin, you idiot. I already warned you to properly manage your subordinates, didn't I?" He stammered in confusion. "Boss, what are you talking about?" Yoon-tae did not hold back and exposed him. "You ordered that bastard Kyung-jung to come to the hospital. You filthy scum. A department head like you sent a prosecutor over a few students fighting. Do you want me to crush you to death?" Back at the school, Principal Yang decided, "We must expel him. Keeping a thug like that will harm the school's image." Teacher Kim still tried to intercede. "But sir, director, the investigation has not concluded yet. What if the student is innocent and is expelled? Then what?" He interrupted. "My wish is the same as my father's. I can make decisions as the owner of the school. As far as I know, the prosecutor is proceeding with the arrest, so he is probably in jail now." This made him panic. "What?" The vice principal disagreed. "You cannot do that to Director Yang. Disciplinary action should be postponed until the facts are verified and until the court issues a ruling on the student Thiessen." He protested angrily. "What do you mean? If that kid harms the school's reputation, then what?" The aged principal spoke up. "Let us wait for the investigation results, Director Yang. If we act hastily, as the vice principal said, not only will the school's reputation be affected, our school will draw the attention of the education authority." Hearing this, he became extremely upset. "Why is the principal so indecisive? We must make a decision immediately. I hereby declare, from today Thiessen will be expelled. He is not allowed to transfer schools. This is not a request, but my father's wish. The chairman of this school understands." Just then someone pushed the door and entered. "Excuse me, director." Director Yang asked irritably, "What is it?" The person stammered and reported, "The matter is, the internet community is in an uproar." "But about what? Is someone fighting online?" At the hospital, Thiessen was convalescing. A nurse pushed the door open and asked how he was feeling today. He smiled flatteringly. "With the prettiest nurse in the hospital caring for me, of course I am fine." She laughed happily. "Oh my, you make me swoon. Thiessen, you sure are a player." He looked smug. "You already like me then. If you were 5 years younger, I would date you." The nurse blushed and covered her face. "You flattered me, but it does feel nice." Suddenly Thiessen changed the subject. "I ordered pizza and wanted some snacks too." She was delighted. "Thiessen is so thoughtful." He folded his arms confidently. I am not only thoughtful. The nurse looked puzzled. How so? Thiessen replied lightly. I also have a lot of money. Very, very much. She gasped. Really? He nodded and smiled. Yes, I am waiting. Confess to me then. But the nurse ruffled his hair like a younger brother. You must really have a lot of money. Look at you. Money is everything to you, right? Stop gaming and rest. Thanks for the pizza. Thiessen understood she had misunderstood. It is not a game. He felt a little disappointed. She did not believe him. Right, who would expect this? Thiessen opened the dense stock screen. His eyes lit up. The trading volume tonight is 10 billion. The profit alone is... He clicked the mouse. Pleased with the figures, the maximum capital capacity is 20 billion. Capital capacity is the number of common and preferred shares the company is allowed to issue under the corporate charter. He squinted thoughtfully, quite satisfied. Thiessen got out of bed. Who would believe a high school student could invest that much money? He looked down at the street through the glass. Folding his arms and calculating, after the recent uproar, without the doctor's permission no one is allowed to visit. This place becomes an ideal location. Thiessen could not hide his pleasure. How beautiful. He muttered, right now the disciplinary council must be in turmoil. At the same time Director Yang was also watching Sunghyun's video. I hate being in the same school with lowly scum like you. I hate smelling the guy who eats kimchi for breakfast. I also hate the tofu brain mush in your heads. You pathetic poor people disgrace my eyes. In the video Thiessen asked, why do you keep bullying me and the weaker classmates? Director Yang was stunned. This is... The teachers also listened in bewilderment to him saying, beating friends and extorting money is very bad. But we are still friends. Your father is lawyer Jang Hyuk and a member of the city council. If he knew you lived like this, what would he think? The man in the video Sunghyun sneered, no need for your concern. He already said it, for lowly scum, trample them until they cannot raise their heads anymore. Someone could not help but call out that name, Jang Hyuk. Thiessen's voice kept echoing, so you used your father's status to bully others. The man laughed smugly. Of course, the principal's son and the head of management are acquaintances of my old man. As long as cash is flashed, everything will be smoothed over. Director Yang gaped in disbelief. What? How is my name mentioned in this? Earlier, when Thiessen met Yunti, he asked, how far do you want me to go? Thiessen smiled with tolerance. Hand over the recorded footage. Trample them flat. Director Yang slammed the table in fury. He roared, what is this? The entire group remained silent, watching the video. Suddenly, the sound of a phone ringing broke through. The days hurried past, and the story kept spiraling further. Director Yang barked irritably, hello. The moment he heard the voice, he froze. His tone softened immediately. Is this father, sir? At this hour, why are you calling? The person on the other line shouted, you brat. I knew you'd cause trouble, you damn fool. Just wait there, I'm coming to the school right now. Then he decisively hung up, leaving his son pale with fear. Online, the public buzzed more than ever. A shocking drama. Oh my, the delinquents at Jangju High are vicious. Send these troublemakers to a reform center. Wow, his father is a lawyer on the city council. Immediately, a press conference was held. The Blue House stated that this case would be investigated promptly and thoroughly. Outside the council building, reporters crowded around Jang Hyuk. He had to face countless questions. The journalists frantically reported, did you really pressure the prosecutors and the police, sir? Please say something. Jang Hyuk bowed his head, apologizing for the trouble I caused. Later, Jang Hyuk resigned from his city council seat due to public backlash. Kyungjung also had to answer to Youngshin, expressing deep shame. At the same time, manager Dongseok and the inspector were dismissed, and the district chief prosecutor was also removed from office. At this point, Thiessen had been discharged and was riding the bus. Everything had been settled smoothly, thanks to the power of money. He thought to himself, what a beautiful world this is. Suddenly, Thiessen saw someone's figure. A pretty girl also noticed him. Yiren smiled gently and turned around. Tison could affirm, indeed, this life is worth living. Tison reached out and took her bag. He headed toward the school beauty Yirin. She glanced shyly. What? Tison felt a thrill. She looked at me. He smiled and repeated, give it to me. I will hold it for you. Yirin blushed. It's okay, I can wear it. The friends behind murmured, the pair watching again. Tison explained, it looks heavy and besides I do not have many things. Holding it is convenient. She did not refuse. Okay, thank you. Those around them noticed. Who is that? So handsome. While he only looked at Yirin, she even thanked him. So Tison took her bag. The bus started moving again. Later Yirin shyly asked, hey you, are you okay? Tison trembled, supporting the stack of bags. He forced a smile and accepted the pile of backpacks. I am fine. Helping each other is normal, but inwardly he was defeated. No matter how old a man is, meeting his first love makes him dumb. Yirin glanced embarrassedly at her friends. You girls. Seeing that face, Tison reminisced. He introduced himself and surprised her. I am Tison. My name is Tison. After saying that he turned red and looked away. That reaction made Yirin blush too. Tison. She saw him put on his headphones. The faint music could still be heard. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Yirin suddenly remembered. He is a student at Jiangju. He started taking the same bus as me last year when he looked very insecure. His shoulders always slumped like that before the summer break. He has changed so much. A friend called her back. Yirin, hurry up. We're almost late. Oh, okay. Back at Jiangju someone shouted, Tison. A classmate jumped up and tried to hit him. Missed. You idiot. Discharged right before the exam. Others joined. If it were me I would have stayed in the hospital. So no chance to sneak in for water. Have you gotten the nurse's number yet? Not yet, but you dare show your face. Shame. You let the brothers down. Die. Tison could not stand their enthusiasm. Spare me. The friends teased. Out of respect you were concussed. We'll let you off this time. Lucky you. He was tormented and laughed. Thanks guys. The friends pointed. He still looks cool. So jealous. Tison looked at his friends. Usually people think friendship and love are shown through words. Oh my brothers. Before entering the classroom someone asked, have you reviewed for the exam? After entering, Teacher Kim also reminded them. The second year has 5 general education classes. Our class ranked last in the last exam. Are you planning to embarrass me again this time? Are you feeling better, Tison? He smiled and replied, I'm fine. I'm very excited. It's all thanks to you, sir. He replied kindly, understanding. The two seemed to know each other's thoughts without speaking. Then Teacher Kim announced, class is over. Wish you good luck on the exam. If you don't seize this opportunity, later you'll regret it. Tison watched his figure, only the teacher, and I fully understood the meaning of that sentence. Once we step into society, we will be harshly filtered, from background, academic achievements to other standards. He held the exam paper. His face froze in shock. He couldn't help whispering, wow. Tison smiled confidently. From the moment I saw the exam, I couldn't stop laughing. And I have another day to live differently from the past, he thought. This is too easy. The next day, still on the familiar bus, Tison took out a chocolate. Here for you. I've been waiting for days to give this to you. Yirin was startled and blushed, looking over. He explained, you're about to take the university exam. This is very good for short-term memory. Her friends whispered, oh, he likes Yirin. She's so pretty. I also like chocolate. Yirin shyly accepted. Thank you, Tison said with a smile. You are a senior, so just speak comfortably with me. I am in my second year. He felt a little proud. No one has ever flirted with you like this, right? Another boy on the bus had noticed them. What is this, that brat? He wondered. Are you ready for the exam? Yirin hesitated. Well. She awkwardly changed the subject. How about you? Tison nodded. I will do fine. Seeing that Yirin understood, really, look at you. You must have very high scores. His face then broke into a bright smile, which startled her, very high indeed. Tison asked, you are the top student among girls at Jiangju, right? I am the same. The girls nearby were astonished. Wow, he is top of the whole school, handsome and smart too, flawless. He quickly pretended to be modest. Perhaps the teachers set easy questions. Yiren, embarrassed, could only listen to his boasting. Tison changed the subject. Do you use your phone? Can I have your number? I will text to cheer you on every day to help you feel happy for the college exam. She hesitated and then read a string of digits 017327. Everyone around was surprised. They were amazed. They exchanged numbers already. Really? How? Having achieved his goal, he was visibly pleased. Yiren's gaze also softened as she looked over. They parted at the stop and the bus rolled on. Tison could not help exclaiming with joy, moved to the point of tears as he looked at her number. Suddenly someone shouted, "Hey kid." A chubby boy at the back ordered, "Come here you. Brat, not listening to your brother. What are you doing? I told you to come here." Tison realized they were the bullies from the Hyukshin Siram Wrestling Club, and the guy was pointing at him, saying, "Come here, that little mouse there." Tison frowned, remembering that he had seen him in the news before. Without fear, he calmly walked up to them and smiled faintly as he faced the three bullies. Tison asked softly, "I'm here. What do you want?" Hyukshin was taken aback by his attitude. "You," his first subordinate shouted, "are you crazy?" The second one urged Hyukshin, "What now? Let's beat him to death." Yet Hyukshin spoke weakly, "Give me Yiren's phone number. That girl is my type." Tison found it funny, "So what if she's your type?" He smiled and replied, "I don't feel like giving it, so what?" That attitude made Hyukshin furious. "What did you say, bastard?" He growled in anger, "Yiren is mine." Tison folded his arms and shrugged, "Your barking hurts my ears." Those words made the thugs tremble with rage. "You—" The second lackey jumped up to fight. "Damn you, want to die." Tison's sharp eyes glanced sideways, and he easily caught the guy's fist, performing a swift wrist lock throw that sent the thug crashing onto the bus floor. Hyukshin's face darkened, turning pale as he gritted his teeth and stared at Tison's confident expression. Tison smiled pleasantly. "Why so tense? We just finished the midterm exams." He shrugged playfully. "Spare me, okay? For blockheads like you, exams don't matter, but for me they're important. If you want to fight again, pick a calmer day. Please understand me, guys." Hyukshin shouted furiously, "Shut your mouth or I'll break you in half." At that moment, even the bus driver couldn't stand it anymore. He yelled loudly, "What's going on back there?" Unexpectedly, Tison bowed his head, surprising the driver. "What's the matter?" Tison politely said, "I'm sorry for making noise." The two bullies could only hold back their anger. "This bastard?" Then Tison thought quietly, "Maybe they don't know. My dream is to become a model citizen. I just want to live peacefully, buy a few buildings in Gangnam to earn pocket money, build a few villas on Jeju Island to spend my summers, and when I have time, buy another island. Whoever dares to interfere with this dream, I'll crush them." It was noon at Jangju School. A girl walked around the cafeteria, saying cheerfully, "Enjoy your meal." But the lunch trays were pitifully small. Tison's friends grumbled, "What is this? Even my dog eats better than this." Tison watched the woman, who kept saying, "Eat more, soybean soup is good for your health, you know." He remembered hearing that the person who made these awful lunches was the director's mistress, and she often bragged, "It was so hard to get these soybeans." Tison thought to himself, "I saw her with my own eyes loading cheap soybeans onto the truck." With that thought, Tison quietly set down his spoon. Yoonji turned back and also noticed him. She looked at Tison curiously as he passed by. "That handsome male student. Why is there still so much food? If you waste it, then when you die you will be punished." He directly poured the meal tray into the trash, speaking in a cold tone, but while alive it did not matter. Yoonji angrily snapped, "Of course, but speaking like that to a beautiful woman like me is rude. Do you know that?" The aura around Tison exuded extreme pressure, so while alive, why not try being punished once? There is no need to wait until death. This made her furious, and she shouted, "What, are you finished?" His gaze was as cold as if looking at an ant. He asked gently, "How is the director?" Yoonji began to panic. "Who are you?" Then Thiessen went to the director's office. The old man was enjoying a sumptuous lunch. On hearing someone arrive, he said, "Come in." The director paused his meal and asked the person in front of him, "How can I help you, Thiessen?" He forced a fake friendly smile and said, "Don't hesitate, speak." Thiessen went straight to the point, "I want meat." The director was taken aback. "Meat?" He exhaled as if narrowly escaping death. "You want meat, really?" Thiessen explained, "And not just me, everyone. The director's lover is a nutritionist." This made him fall silent and unable to speak. Thiessen's eyes were extremely resolute, yet for the past year the school lunches have been worse than dog food. The students here pay 3,501 for each meal. The director was surprised to hear it put so bluntly, dog food. Thiessen compared. At other schools there are at least 3 days a week with meat. There is no school in this world that makes students who pay for their food eat only soybeans. Sir, this behavior is called embezzlement. We must be properly fed to have the strength to study. These sharp arguments left him flustered. He closed with a final sentence. "I hope you will file a complaint with the police." After presenting this, he stood to leave and said, "Excuse me." The director suddenly called him back. "Hey, Thiessen, however immature you may be, you must consider your words." He forced a smile and said, "I am only reporting a matter you already know well." The atmosphere between them grew tense. Later Thiessen left satisfied. "I spent as much as 500 million to deal with Sunghyun. Although working with a reputable law firm was expensive, they handled it very smoothly." Indeed, just after he left, the director inside called someone. "Mr. Park, where are you? Call the principal and vice principal here immediately." He smiled to himself, thinking, "When the time is ripe, I can cause chaos in this school once more. Now I only want one thing. While the school's meal quality is worse than dog food, my purpose is very clear, right?" One evening somewhere, a polite man poured wine and said respectfully to the boss, "The short but cruel words bury it." Jang-hyuk looked over with contempt and said to handle it discreetly. The subordinate politely advised, "Boss, the problem is not as simple as burying a high school kid. There are many people eagerly waiting to join the organization. If you keep looking back, then," Jang-hyuk said firmly, "if you handle this well, I will reward you double." The man shouted joyfully, "Thank you, boss." The old man clenched his fists in anger. The problem was only about money. His eyes were filled with hatred. "Thiessen, I will definitely kill you." That furious roar startled the people outside. At school someone kept calling, "Thiessen." Mr. Kim hurriedly pushed open the classroom door. "Thiessen." He was panting until he found him. Thiessen looked puzzled and asked, "What is it, teacher?" Mr. Kim was still in shock. What have you done?" He pulled out the recent exam paper and questioned in horror, "Why did you get a perfect score?" The classroom fell silent for a moment. The classmates were stunned and shouted, "What? Thiessen got a perfect score. He must have cheated." "Teacher," everyone protested, "please investigate it." Mr. Kim sighed helplessly, "I suppose you have to explain to everyone." Thiessen bowed his head with a smile, "No other way, huh?" But inside he was annoyed. "You monkeys, just try dying and coming back to life once." So under the expectant gazes of the class, Thiessen spoke softly, "Today, I will treat everyone to pizza." The class's defenses were instantly broken. He did not stop, "Not yet. There's more. I'll pay for the internet cafe too." Mr. Kim turned back to see the fallen class. As expected, everyone burst out cheering happily. They praised him non-stop. "Actually, Thiessen is really smart." "True. And when it comes to hard work, Thiessen ranks second. No one dares claim first." On the internet, they say after a brain concussion people become more intelligent. Teachers. "I believe in you, bro. Thiessen is a genius teacher." Then Thiessen smiled brightly at him. "See, my classmates have already confirmed it for me, teacher." The group behind chanted loudly, "Thiessen, Thiessen, Thiessen, Thiessen." Mr. Kim finally gave up. "All right, I'll let it go this time." The classmates cheered wildly. "Long live, awesome, the best of the best." He muttered inwardly, "Such easygoing kids." At noon in the school cafeteria, the students were stunned in disbelief. They looked at the trays of rich and complete meals in shock. Oh my god. The new nutritionist smiled awkwardly. I'm sorry, is it still not enough? Next time I'll improve. Since that mood-ruining person disappeared, the school had returned to its peaceful state, and the students were all supportive. Welcome our beautiful nutritionist, fan club of the school's new nutrition expert. The new person in charge was touched. Thank you everyone. The mealtime was not only about meat, but also included high-quality local produce, and the small merchants at the market were sincerely grateful to us for buying ingredients to cook for over 1,500 students every day. After school, the group gathered at the pizza shop. The friends demanded all at once, "Auntie, give us a super huge pizza. The bigger the better." "Give mine first, beautiful auntie. Mine first, please." She was a little surprised. Is there some special occasion? Someone explained. It's a treat from the top student, auntie, she gasped. Teason, huh? The friends were also a little surprised. You know Teason too? She nodded and explained. I heard thanks to Teason the school has returned to peace. Where Teason is, your child also studies at Jiangju. They pointed at him waiting over there. Hearing someone call, Teason also turned around. He smiled shyly. Hello, auntie. The female students from other schools were stunned. So handsome, oh my. She curiously asked, can you pay for everything? Teason raised his hand casually. Yes, and in his mind he thought, today I made more than $1 billion in profit. Suddenly someone approached him. Hello, sir. He was slightly surprised and turned. Yes. A beautiful female student came forward. She asked, you're a second-year student, right? Going straight to the point, do you have a phone? The girl was indeed very charming. Teason smiled and declined. Sorry, but I already have someone. The friends secretly fumed. Wow, Teason, this guy is awesome. So jealous. Seorion did not give up. It's just someone special. So that means you don't have a girlfriend, right? He was stunned. What? She smiled confidently. So you don't have one yet? I knew it. Then give me your number. Teason panicked, almost falling off his chair. What? He stood up in shock. What's wrong with this girl? This is so embarrassing. He hurriedly said, I think doing that would be unfair to the other person. Even if it's one-sided love, one must remain faithful. Seorion smiled even brighter. You're so interesting. Teason was slightly cautious. It seemed like I'd met this bold girl somewhere before. Then he noticed the name on her uniform. Seorion. Wait, Seorion. Could it be Seorion? He panicked, almost screaming aloud. Teason is still remembered. She is the top star from his hometown, the representative idol of Korea, Seorion. She is the center and face of the group FOB, the most talented goddess in K-pop. His classmates cried in envy. Knew it, this idiot, I want to punch him. Teason was still stunned. Oh my god, is this real or a dream? She provoked him. How long are you going to make me wait? He blushed, froze. It's Seorion. Just as Teason was tense, unsure how to react, someone called him back. Teason. Yiren suddenly appeared at the pizza shop. He panicked as if caught red-handed. Why now of all times? Seorion also noticed. Senior Yiren. Teason went pale, screaming silently in his mind. Sister, Yiren. Yiren was very impressed with Teason. He kept sending her messages. Most were just greetings and jokes. She inadvertently called his name, Teason, feeling flustered inside. But when they faced each other, she unconsciously spoke his name. Yiren's friends were excited. Is he an acquaintance of yours? Oh my, reunited again. Teason was stunned. Sister Yiren. The two girls teased, so handsome, and such a perfect body. His classmates were envious. Damn Teason, he must have eaten well during summer break. I know her. She's the top student at Jiangju Girls' School in the 3rd year. Teason also scored perfectly at our school. Not bad at all. Guys. He cleared his throat, pretending to be calm. Stay natural. Teason smiled as beautifully as he could. You came for pizza. Yiren blushed. Yes, you guys insisted on treating me. He was startled. Treating friends. The two girls behind me laughed. Hi, sweetie. She's Yiren's friend. Just call her Yoonjung. And I'm the hottest girl in school, Sira. Teason awkwardly replied. Hello, sisters. The girls introduced themselves like a sales pitch. Her midterm grades are very high, so we suggested she treat. Unexpectedly, Yiren knows such a handsome junior. Yunjung teased, just a junior, right? Suddenly Seoryeon from behind shouted, got it, it's senior Yiren, your crush is Yiren. This left her stunned. Seoryeon continued teasing, I knew it. A group of people froze at the situation. Yiren suddenly spoke, Seoryeon. She smiled obediently and replied, yes, sister. Her eyes darkened subtly, are you close to Tison? Seoryeon hinted, no, I just met him for the first time. Yiren repeated, first time. Tison behind breathed a sigh of relief, I'm alive. Unexpectedly, she confirmed, yes, but he's my type, I've already chosen him. He's handsome and smart too, who wouldn't like him? Tison turned pale in shock, what's wrong with this girl? A group of friends again cried out in envy, this guy, so jealous. The eyes of the two girls exchanged a silent struggle. The atmosphere was thick with the smell of gunpowder. Yiren smiled slightly, I thought so too. That bluntness left Tison gaping, and Seoryeon was surprised as well. The classmates marveled, not just one but two girls. Yiren even stepped closer to him, how do you feel? Seoryeon was a little cautious, the senior is pretty good huh? She moved in front of the two of them, leaving Tison a bit bewildered and dazed. Their glances passing each other were intensely tense. Seoryeon spoke like a warning, but seniors will play fair, right? Yiren listened and blushed. He weakly asked, what? Suddenly she reached out again. Hey, Mr. Tison, Senior Yiren has your phone number, right? Then you have to give me your number too. Only then is it fair. He recoiled in panic. What? Seoryeon smiled with narrowed eyes. That's the point. Play it like that is beautiful. Tison turned pale in fright. Oh my god. Unexpectedly she said, just hand it over. He startled. Excuse me. Seoryeon smiled proudly as if she had achieved her goal. Yiren insisted, give it to the girl, give me his number. He thought in horror, is this the legendary battle of women's honor? He inwardly sighed, this is crazy. So Tison had no choice but to hand it over. He said, give me your phone. Yiren tried to hide her displeasure at having to watch this. Seoryeon secretly watched Tison's movements with joy. He steadied himself and thought, honestly, I feel like I'm standing on the top of the world. The drama between us will erupt from now and will surely have a very interesting ending. Tison pressed the call button to his phone. The ringtone gently sounded amid everyone's anticipation. This development wasn't so bad after all. On one side was his first love, on the other a future superstar, Yiren on the right, Seoryeon on the left. The friends could not accept it at first. Damn you shameless brat, Tison. A girl at the girls' school secretly called to report. Hello. It seems Yiren has a crush on Tison. Right, I knew it. At some training room, Hyukshin answered, okay, no worries, I'll treat today. Call everyone, okay? Hang up. The coach, seeing this, called out, hey, what are you doing not training, you idiot? When the coach calls, you must answer, are you not listening to me? But he roared in fury and directly threw the coach to the floor, leaving him unable to react and writhing in pain. Hyukshin screamed, I'll kill you. His face filled. On a day off, Tison took the whole family to buy a car. Wow, you're buying this for dad. His two younger siblings were overjoyed. Big brother is the best. His father advised, oh, take it slow. Tison reassured him, it's fine, I've already paid. The whole family could hardly believe their eyes. He winked, signaling, money is everything. At night, in a luxurious building, Tison was working. I love the clacking sound of the keyboard in the room. I've left home and live independently, rarely go to school, and completely control my own time. Today I made over 7 billion. He was satisfied. Tomorrow it might reach 9 billion. Tison thought to himself, the stock market continues to surge, market prices skyrocketing in a single day. I love this rebirth. This is the life I should live, a life where money makes money. Then Tison approached the balcony, but I still haven't touched futures and options contracts. If I want to get involved in futures and options, the principle will need to change a bit. But he opened the door and stepped outside. What a wonderful night. Teeson's eyes were full of hope. Actually, I wanted to wait until then. He leisurely admired the city at night. It's coming soon. The subprime lending crisis of 2007, the rapid rise in foreign commodities, and chaotic currency markets in the deferred market. I will wait for that moment. The next day at Jiangju High School, Desun smiled and asked, "Hey, top student, heading home?" He nodded. "Yes, I'm going home. Lately Teeson only goes to school occasionally. Anyway, the school has returned to peace." He picked up his bag, ready to go home and check how much profit he had made. Teeson savored this rare feeling. Returning to school was not as bad as he had imagined, even though he really hated studying. While walking, someone ahead blocked the way, and he startled to a halt. Teeson, puzzled, asked why they suddenly stopped. "We almost collided." His friends wide-eyed pointed, looking Teeson. He looked up and saw a crowd gathered. It was Hyukchin's gang. Teeson remained calm. "Who are they?" "Just thugs." Dejung panicked. "They're from Industrial High School." Two of the bullies saw him and shouted, "Is that him, right?" One of them yelled loudly, "Hey, Teeson." He was slightly surprised. "Who's this brother of yours? Do you know him?" His friend nervously tried to warn Teeson. The thugs sneered, "Follow us now, bastard. Brother indeed." Teeson smirked inwardly. "Right, you can't be reasoned with." He turned to his friends and said, "Go on ahead." But a group had already surrounded them. "If we follow you, then will you treat us to pizza? Pizza forever, and next time too." This surprised Teeson. "When did you guys get here?" He was touched. "I knew you guys cared about me." Sunset fell over the city. In a shabby alley, the juniors returned boldly. "Boss, we brought Teeson." In the alley, a pack of thugs gathered, each trying to look mysteriously cool, and the leader was Hyukchin. He sat atop a pile of scrap, finally arrived, a threatening, towering figure. "That mouse brat, don't think you'll leave here alive. This move can't be undone, kid." Teeson smiled mildly. "What's with the tension? Filming a movie or something, fatty?" The friends behind him joined in teasing laughter. Hyukchin ground his teeth in fury. "I'll kill you." Teeson did not flinch and met his gaze confidently. The two sides faced each other with a numbers gap. Teeson sensed the space inside the abandoned factory. This room felt strange. He could feel a very negative energy. After training in martial arts, his body had become very sensitive. He could sense everything, which was rather annoying. He had no intention of fighting immediately. "Do you guys realize? What you are doing is an extremely serious act of violence. It's not too late to turn back now. I haven't lived that long anyway. Life is short. Living in this busy and trap-filled world, why waste time on pointless things?" The juniors egged Hyukchin on. "Boss, maybe he was just messing around. You should teach him a real lesson." Teeson recited flawlessly. "According to Article 261 of the Criminal Code, acts of organized or individual violence, carrying dangerous weapons, causing injury or harm to another person are all considered crimes." The illiterate juniors were puzzled. "What do you mean? Who knows?" He continued, "If I have a nosebleed that counts as serious injury, the minimum sentence is 1 year in prison. Your parents will have to beg me, not to mention having to pay medical expenses. Moreover, I was recently concussed. If injured, I will need treatment for 6 months, and I will only stay in a VIP room, so it will be very expensive." Hyukchin angrily stepped forward. He snarled and took out a cigarette. "Damn you, so carefree, huh?" Teeson mocked. "Oh look, athletes caught up with cigarettes. Your heads must be full of shit." His friends joined in the mocking laughter. Those words made Hyukchin furious and trembling. "You guys, I will take care of that kid. Leave those clown guys behind to you." The friends feigned panic. "Don't do that." He turned back and joked, "I'm about to be taken care of. So scary." The juniors were encouraged and boasted. "Go on, brag. We're not old enough. No matter how heinous the crime is, as long as you pay 1,000,000 won, cry and beg the judge, and then go home, you think you're the only smart one." Teeson thought inwardly, "That's why laws need to be tightened." In Korea, underage offenders are not sentenced, so the number of victims suffering injustice keeps skyrocketing. "Just wait, I will tear him apart and trample him underfoot." Hyukchin could not wait any longer and shouted, What are you waiting for? And beat them to death. The juniors pulled out all kinds of iron pipes and weapons. Come on. Thiessen calmly faced them. His friends were a little frightened, looking at the iron bars. Thiessen signaled them to fall back. Because he did not have time to guard himself, he tripped. Startled and unable to react, he fell. Meanwhile, the bullies had already begun to strike. His friends cried out in shock. Thiessen. He also stared dumbfounded at the iron rods coming down. In the moment before being hit, Thiessen could only think one thought, damn it. In an instant, bright red. The bullies laughed wickedly, swinging their iron bars. Unexpectedly, at that exact moment, the lead thug felt a sharp pain. He had been kicked in the chin by Thiessen, and a tooth went flying. Thiessen leapt into the air with a jump, striking while exclaiming, "Almost gave me a heart attack. Playing with real steel, I nearly died." After taking down the lead thugs, Thiessen stopped. He snorted disdainfully, "Hurry up and do whatever, I'm hungry." Thiessen used his martial arts technique, the 5 elements Taiji fist. Hyukchin's gang gaped in horror, unable to believe it. He shouted again, beat him to death, used any method. The juniors confidently charged forward. Yes. Thiessen mocked these idiots. In movies, when has the main character ever been beaten to a pulp by thugs? Thiessen delivered a flying kick to the chin, "Watch me now," followed by a slap that sent another flying. He surged forward, kicking everyone aside. Now he was the main character of this territory. He smiled at them. "You guys daring to mock me over there? I'll deal with you too." His friends behind gawked. Divine, amazing. Watching Thiessen as if he were playing, hit a bit harder. "What are you doing there? I told you to come here." The juniors surged forward in waves. "Don't hesitate. Attack as a group. Go all out." Thiessen laughed loudly. "A group attacked, huh? Fine, bring it all on." The thugs were defeated like straw. Hyukchin panicked, looking around, left alone, sweating cold. Who is this guy? His friends cheered for Thiessen, just like in the movies. Thiessen reminded them, "What are you still doing there? Call 112 and 119 now. Report that your friend is being attacked by a group of thugs." They were confused. Huh, they're the ones being attacked. Hyukchin became extremely alert. Gidong had warned him, if he failed now, not just the organization, but even his juniors would no longer respect him. He pulled something from his jacket pocket. It was a sharp knife. While Thiessen was still joking, "You see, what I'm doing is just self-defense." Hyukchin recklessly charged that dog. He raised the knife in fury. "I will kill you." His friends shouted in alarm. "Behind you, Thiessen, dodge now." Then the growl turned into Hyukchin's scream of pain. Everyone had no time to react. Thiessen. It turned out he had twisted Hyukchin's arm backwards. Hyukchin could not believe it. "You? Who are you, really?" In his eyes, Thiessen's figure grew strangely large. He smiled and said, "Causing injury from intentional homicide, organized violence, and assault at a severe level. That much can put you in jail for several years." He stood dumbfounded. What? Hyukchin muttered the name of the person facing him, Thiessen. But Thiessen had already taken out his phone. "Lawyer Joe, I have been assaulted by a group of people. They even attempted murder. Please help me." He cried and begged, "I was wrong. Please spare me." Only then did Hyukchin understand that this was not a high school kid to be toyed with. Thiessen kept a calm expression. "Oh look, you understand your situation now? Good." The next day the news announced, a group of students had gathered into a gang and attempted to kill an ordinary student. The collective assault of these students sounded an alarm for society. School violence was no longer confined to classrooms and school boundaries, but had become. At night in a mansion there were shouts, "What the hell did you do? Damn, to the point of being investigated like this." A junior weakly said, "Sorry, boss." The other angrily snapped, "Shut up, you idiot." That news had spread on television, social media, and every other channel. It could no longer be controlled. That brat Thiessen was in the hospital. The prosecutor had also arrested the fake students. The police I bribed would not answer me either. Damn those dogs. Then he ordered, "Stand down for now and discipline them for me. If any of you make another mistake, do not blame me." The assistant hurriedly poured wine. Yes, sir. The man was the one who had done business with Jang Hyuk. He downed his drink. Good. Just then someone asked, "How about that glass?" He looked terrified into the garden. Someone. Then he went pale, realizing there was no one. Suddenly the space turned pitch black, making him and his junior panic. What the hell? Seems like the power cut out. They drew knives warily. Who are you? At that moment a stone flew in, directly knocking down the junior. The remaining man gritted his teeth and cursed, "Bastard." From the darkness a part of a face was revealed. He appeared from behind the curtain. Seeing the newcomer, he broke into a cold sweat. "You." A mysterious figure in black flashed behind a streak of lightning.